What's going on, people? What's that? What's that? And back up in the building. What's
Good.
with the late night show? Y'all see us, man. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, big business. Yeah, we gonna be here, okay? We gonna be here. I'm about to catch y'all on this late night. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of pick y'all brains on some of these topics. You know what I'm saying? So if you read the title, you understand what's already about to happen, man. Y'all already know, man. We got my people in the building. Y'all know how we always do it, like we usually do it. Man, I am Silent Child 17,
Chop tracks in the building as usual.
and P360 some goddamn well. So we gonna get started like we usually do about this time. Yeah, it never fails. It never fails. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple of things we want, throw at y'all head for a little minute. But for right now, we're gonna welcome everybody to the smoke session. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody know what's going on with them. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
good? That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
sad. How you feeling this night on this beautiful night, Chop Trey? Talk to us.
I'm good, bro. Actually, but everything is good at the moment. No issues, no complaints. Just crazy that I seen something went with my topic happened today, but
Hmm.
that's crazy.
Oh yeah, man. We ain't gonna play with it, man. We gonna jump straight into our segment that we like to call in other news. In other news, Chap, no, that's another thing. We're gonna have to get a theme song for in other news too.
Oh, I got you. Come on.
Something like that. Yeah, something light for the people.
Yeah, yeah. You know
You know what
I'm
I'm
on.
saying? Well, we definitely own it, man. We're gonna jump right into that other news segment that we want to talk about. Chap, you could go first with what you were saying about that. You jump right into
But I
that.
was sitting at work, getting ready for the show, and Ola.com sent me a notification saying a woman had got killed. So there was like night woman killed, and I guess like the last 30 days or within a month or whatever. So after reading the story, it was basically a domestic dispute, and damn, I think it just rolled over a possum. But it was this domestic dispute, and the girl went in the kitchen and was about to stab him with a knife. And when she went and grabbed the knife, he grabbed the gun, and I guess he thought she was going to stab him or whatever. But they say that she was about to leave him. She was packing her stuff and was about to leave him. So that don't even make sense. Like, I don't know. But it, you know, still was like a domestic dispute. It's just, I
Hmm.
hate that they, grouping it together with the other ones. Plus, with the statement the mayor made about the shit. It's like, yeah, It's just crazy that
What
they really
you
is
think there's
involved in
more
so
to it?
many. Yeah, it is more to it, and the truth really gonna come out. Whatever really happened, that's gonna really come out. It's not coming out right now, but because it's fresh. But eventually, the truth gonna come out. Because as a man, the first thing you gonna think of if your chick coming at you with a knife is to just shoot her dead. Unless he real small and he big. I mean, she big. Fuck, ain't nobody gonna just think to just shoot her. Yeah, you gonna think to try to get the knife. That's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna think to just shoot her. I think it had to do with her trying to leave his ass that made him really want to shoot her. Cause he was supposed to have
Mm,
been and got caught
that's a good
cheating
point.
from a police affidavit. So she was done with him and was trying to leave. So why would she be trying to stab you if she leaving?
It could be. It's that's the whole part about that.
Yeah,
With
it's an open
you see
investigation.
yeah, that investigative part right there. That's where that meat potato come in there, because you really don't know, bro. Like you've heard of instances where certain things go a certain way, but then realize, oh Lord, that's none of that really happened like they said. So you do see those instances. You know what I'm saying? It's not always cut and dry as, oh, the man was beaten on or whatever, cheating on, and something happened where she turned around and just had to do that. You know what I mean? It's not
Mm-hmm.
always cut and dry like that. So I definitely get it though. Keep us posted on that one, cause yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the.
Sound like somebody trying to come in. Hold on, player. But yeah, I got another one. Was waiting on 360 to pull it up for me, but I could just talk about it until he come back. Um, I've heard that they released the black book from Epstein. Got some interesting names in there, people. Yeah, got some very interesting characters in the book. So that go 360. You up and running, bro? Nope. We'll come back. We'll be right back. Uh, the black book. Yeah, it was actually been uh released to court documents and other things about what's been going on, and it's showing that Epstein helped a lot of people with money issues and things that have to do with funds moving them, uh, holding it, keeping it, what to put it in, all these type of little different things. And these are characters that we all know. One name in particular, I don't know if y'all fellas, y'all still can hear me, huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
just muting because I'm.
Okay. I was just making sure y'all was alive. All right. One of the names was Chris Rock. That's why I wanted to see if Pete could look that up for me right quick, and we could have read a little piece of the article or showed the people a piece of the article where these names was being put out there. And Chris Rock is one of the names, y'all. So do y'all remember, if y'all can think back, do y'all remember Chris Rock name being on the flight log? Cause I don't.
No, they didn't discuss what was on the flight log.
And yes, they did. Remember the list of names?
I
I
thought
don't
that was his
remember if it
calendar.
was on the list, but I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to look it up. But I don't remember his name per se. But they said
Mm-hmm.
some people that was on it, but I don't remember it being his
Chris
name. Not
Tucker.
saying that they didn't. I think I
Chris
heard his
Tucker.
name.
I heard
I think
Chris
I
Tucker
heard his
name
Yeah,
on
I
name.
the
heard
on the
Chris
flight
Tucker.
log.
Yeah, I heard
That's
Chris
what
Tucker
that's what I'm trying to
name.
get y'all to remember a little bit.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
might be on the
remember
flight log.
The Rock. I don't remember Chris Rock on them flight logs. So which makes it kind of interesting for me thinking how I think about this. You know what I'm saying? If you were involved with him, then Why wasn't his name on the flight logs? Because it was an island, correct? You got to catch a flight to get there, correct? So
Correct.
I mean, just certain little things like that go to adding up. Maybe Epstein had hubs here in America that we don't know about still to this day. I mean, Florida was one of them. His Florida home that they bust open. So it raises a lot of eyebrows of what we actually believe, what was going on, and now that more stuff is coming out. Him with his black book, it's actually even more eye opening to what's really going on and how far this thing really stretched down into the roots. You know, Pete, did you get a chance to get the Google search for me?
Yeah, I'm on Google right now trying to pull it up.
Okay, well, whenever
Uh,
you can find it. Y'all got anything to say about that though?
like that, we've been waiting to see what's happening with that for a minute, though, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I want to know. I want to know who's who and what's been going on.
There is definitely
Wait,
a lot of information
okay.
with that need to come out that hasn't came out, but that is fucking eye opening. Like it's a lot of shit, and that's a lot of
All right,
times. You see that in the movies and shit. Them niggas always know who to call and get that bread from when they need it.
all right. I'm about to put it up on the screen for you. If this what you was talking about. Uh, can you see it?
Yeah, let me switch to what you call.
Mm,
My bad. Yeah, that's it right there. If you could just kind of skim through it, they got I don't know if this the part where he's saying some of the names, but they did list some of the names, and the other name that we also know, fellas, is a magician, David Copperfield.
his name does sound like Madam Alice, Mayflower Madam. Oh wait, they just talk about stuff. Wait, hold up. The little black book is potential cash scandal continues to capture the book imagination as unmasking three madams in the 1980s and 90s. Sydney Biddle Bowles, known as the Mayflower Madam, and Alice, the Hollywood at their home. I remember the high flight. Come on, let's see if they talk about some name.
Is that me lagging like that, or is that 360? I think your phone lagging, brother. Yeah, excuse the interruption, y'all. He having bad connection issues right now. But basically, that was I wanted him to show a little bit of it where y'all could have kind of rated, but y'all could go look for it. I mean, ain't no secret. It's out here right now. So basically, a lot of people that we didn't know is that was involved are coming out in the light now. This big light on what Epstein has built as far as an empire is showing that there's a lot of people stemmed off of this base tree. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of raggedy branches on this motherfucker that not only been taking money from him to do whatever they want to do with it, but also knowing that he's funneling sex trafficking with women, also using these same women to entertain at these parties for these celebrities. So you can't say they don't know when these women show up at parties and ready to fuck. You're not acting like you don't see that underage girl over there talking to that old ass man and shit. So these type of things have been going on even through the Victoria's Secret modeling thing and all that. You know, it's been a big old debacle with that. These people trying to get the rights back because of all that stuff that was going on with that situation. So just to hear names like Chris Rock, especially, you know, because he's tied more to, you know, my upbringing. You know, I watched damn near all these movies, stand up. Uh, I mean, just him talking in general about certain things. You know, you would think that he wouldn't be involved in something like this. Rather, it's about, you know, rather they trying to make it look like it was just some business deals or not. You know who you getting business with. It's not that much of a, you know what I'm saying, a far-fetched thing. So I look a lot of that from that era too. Yeah, Rich David Copperfield, man. Yeah, bro. He was making that money disappear like magic. Poof. His ass pop up with two gasoline businesses and shit. This shit crazy, man. People involved in all kind of shit. So he was probably finding out ways to, you know. So shit, who knows, man? So you know, this book gonna really show some more stuff. They just releasing certain things. You know how the authorities like to do, child. They don't want to exclose everything, but these names, you know, were kind of familiar. So you know, they threw that out there just to say, hey, we know, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of
And
like
you know
one of
that's
those
part
things.
of this name Maxwell getting the soft time she did get because
So, right.
she said she was gonna give that black book out and shit. So it's more information that she got that she can possibly try to use to get, you know, more freedom or get freed all of this shit.
David Copperfield Friday showed him how to hide them girls and shit. This nigga had smoke and treasure chests and shit. You put a young bitch in there, and open it, and she on the island.
It's a monkey.
Fucking smoke in the hat come out that muff. Poof. Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's getting crazy though. So, you know, y'all put y'all seatbelts on with some of this information, man, because it's not done. Because a lot of this stuff we already kind of, you know, touched on and did like little news reports on them and stuff. So, you know, this has been a long time coming with this here. So, y'all, you know, just stay posted. I mean, it's just what it is right now. 360, what's happening, bro? You ready, bro? I ain't gonna hold you up no longer, bro. Cause you having technical difficulties over there. He over there having technical difficulties. This man here, man. This man must go to this church.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Well, I don't want to talk about Jesus this evening. Because as the big man teaches us, it's two sides to every story. Not one, but two. A story is not one-sided. A story has a duality. There's two sides to every story. Which brings to mind the phrase, necessary evil. I know many would say here the phrase necessary evil. Ain't system evil. Can't be no such thing as necessary. How's evil necessary? That don't match. That's class and sight.
Y'all see this here?
Yeah, you mute your mic, dude, when you come on, bro. You just popped on. Mute your mic, brother. You going in and out. You're having technical difficulties. You gotta take your time, bitch. You coming in, you're frying, you're popping. Nobody don't know what's going on, brother. You gotta pace yourself. Find out what's going on before you jump on with the video and stuff. Yeah. It's all good though, but just
Yeah, can
you're
y'all hear
having
me now?
bad, terrible problems. We can hear you. Listen to me. You're having technical difficulties, and you're frying. You're coming in and out. We ain't saying we can't hear you. We can hear you, but just pace yourself when you're putting videos and popping up because you're coming in and off the stream. You see what I'm saying? So let us know when you're coming in before you do anything.
Right.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. All right. So what you was about to show us though? Pop it up.
Uh,
Hello. Do like you
so
did. Hello.
yeah.
Talk
So
about it. What you was about to present. Tell it. Tell the people.
so this is some type of video game that they have over in China right now, where these people is walking around playing with what appear to be real life weapons, but they got them connected to their cell phone and they keeping scores of the people that they killing in the streets. Like it's like a real life video game that they play. Something how we see how we living over here in the U.S. So I'll play it again so y'all can see it right.
So like a surreal. Wow. How they able to even do this? That would be my first question.
So now that y'all see, so it looked to me like they playing a game of laser tag with some real looking weapons.
Actually, we didn't get to
They can't
see it.
bring.
We having
Yeah,
yeah, you
technical
having
Yeah, I
difficulties.
ain't hear
difficulties.
nothing. I
Yeah,
see nothing.
yeah. It didn't show nothing at all. It didn't.
Damn, this fucking internet out here, bro. Spotty.
It's all good. You could talk about it if you can't show it. You can still talk about it. See what they're talking about.
All right, so if y'all didn't see it the first time, they hold them like little small sniper rifles, um little would look like little Mac 11s, all kind of little guns they got these little kids walking around playing with, right? But they got the gun attached to their phone. So literally it's like they playing laser tag, but it's with multi fire or rapid fire weapons, sniper rifles. It's like they playing PUBG in the streets.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you could try it one more time to see if it could play
That was
and try
kind
to
of
give us like a little hint of it. But if you can't, don't worry about it because it didn't show at all. That's what we were trying to tell you. We didn't get to see none of it. Like
Yeah, nigga said it
it
was
was,
lagging. That bitch was lagging.
yeah.
The
it's
video
lagging
was
bad,
lagging.
bro. I know.
Okay, so let me
Yeah,
get
we
this
know
straight.
too.
They've created a robot or something that could actually go out and shoot people, but they in a house playing a video game. Is that what you're saying?
No. These are
Okay,
real
that's what I'm asking.
people.
Okay.
I'm about to see if I can share it again.
So they killing real people, but it's a game.
No, they're not killing anybody. They're
Or
not
they
killing
killing people in
anybody.
a game.
It's like a yeah,
Like Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt.
He said duck cut. That boy sound like Simon from the Pepsi commercial right now.
that bitch don't play for nothing.
Yeah,
On my
it ain't.
phone.
It's just loading up. Sorry about the inconvenience, people. I know that's probably driving the shit out y'all. Apologize, Powder. We just assistant pimps.
It still ain't playing. God, oh, come on, man.
Cause
It's
that's a
playing on my computer though.
okay. Probably could find it.
Matter of fact,
See, there
matter of
go the
fact, I'm about to
sound
send
right
it
there.
to
You
him.
can hear it. You can hear it, but you can't see
I'm,
nothing. You can hear it, but you can't
I'm
see
gonna
it.
send it to. I'm about to send it to Chop page right
Yeah.
now.
Okay. You can cut it off. Nah, you can just cut it off. Cause we can't see nothing. We just hear noise.
Look, all right, there you go. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
just
Let me
cut it
share
off.
this
Don't even
with
worry
y'all
about
real
it.
quick. I'm about to share
But
this with Chop.
that's interesting though. Is it in a like a arena setting or something like that?
No, they out in the street. Street.
Uh,
They out in the
don't
street.
Pete take it down, brother. Take it off the main video. Yeah, just do that behind the scene. But yeah, that mean that is something. That's why I said I wish I had a little, little video for it or audio to really explain a little bit more of it of how they actually doing that. Cause you saying there's real people dying?
No, they're not dying.
No. Okay.
It's like laser tag, but they're using weapons that look real, like real sniper
Okay.
rifles, real
Ah,
right. But they out in the
I'm tripping. I'm
streets with
thinking
it.
about it the opposite way. Okay, I see what you're
Yeah, but
saying.
they out in the streets with it. I sent it to the Blunt Talk on Instagram page for
Okay.
our followers to go look it up.
Okay. Cool.
It'll be in the reels. But that's I
Is
have
that
wanted. Uh,
is that a, is that damn, I forgot about the action. Is that the realness of it? I was trying to think of I was trying to when you say the sounds was those sounds
yeah,
coming off of the packs of the body to make it sound like that, or or that was the gun sounding like that and stuff.
that was the packs that they have on their body generate.
Okay, to make the
it's like they
sounds
really
real.
created a whole environment for that. So if you got an
Right.
automatic gun and you squeeze the trigger on your automatic gun, the speaker's gonna play that sound in your area, which gives you that echo, and the packs that's on their body give them the feel of getting shot.
Okay.
So it's like it's kind of like virtual. I can't even say virtual simulation because it's not virtual. This was real life people standing out in the streets with little bitty look like real weapons, shooting at
Mm.
each other and keeping score on their cell phone.
Yeah, that's bugged out right there.
So
They getting
my
better and better with it.
but bro, like, could you imagine the ramifications of having something like that over here in the U.S.? Like that the area where they was, it looked like it was like a mall or something, and they
Right.
closed off the mall for the day, and they had everything all hooked up and ready to go, and like you see the children practicing. So what if that's what the reason I chose that as a what the fuck topic was because what if that's what they really teaching children to do in urban warfare? Like if they really wanted to come at the U.S., being that they already got enough people over here, if they really wanted to do some shit, they could do some shit like this. Call it a game, but in all actuality, you teaching these kids how to use these types of weapons for real.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying with that because not only playing around with it with the kids, they take it to the next level as far as having these uh what we would call
Extremists.
drills. No drills. Those little emergency drills where they come through your neighborhood
Right.
and use your neighborhood for an urban environment in case something happens,
Oh
war and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that. They
yeah.
get, they get all this stuff together. They put everything on. They put their tactical gear on, and they bust through houses, and you know what I'm saying. They do the whole little reenactment of
The
so-called emergency. So definitely see the training in it, not only with the kids, but also both with the government and law enforcement.
Yeah, because that's definitely something that, and you know what? I think about it like this here. That might be a modern day reenactment of the purge.
I mean, that's the theme of it. Sound like it's like you know, just y'all basically purging. Like it's a game y'all playing, like kind of a laser tag game, but it's still that concept. Y'all in this area, and y'all all see who get the most kills. So
Right.
it definitely has to be feel for sure, for sure. If you want to jump straight into your to your piece, P, you can have the flow.
All right. So I'm gonna try to get this device to show my videos. Um, the first video, even if it don't do it on the computer, I hope it shows it because I did upload some clips. So being that we talking about the corrupt justice system, one of the things that I highlighted, and the reason I'm about to even bring this video up is because of the way it went down. Like with the person that I'm about to talk about, what happened to him when he went to Texas is what we're gonna get to in a minute. So I'm gonna play the clips first of what I was able to capture from the news, so we could see what they're talking about with that, and then what
Okay.
happened on the backside of what happened when he got to Texas. So I'm about
Okay,
to
put your hit your fair use for a couple of seconds. Let that run through, and then go ahead with your video though. If you're just tuning in, comment, like, subscribe. Holla at your boy. This is the Smoke Out with Blunt Talk Nola. You're
fair use playthrough. Again. Here's
yes.
my first clip. So this is my first clip, folks. I want y'all to check this out and let me know what y'all feelings is on this. This is an incident that took place first day of Jazz Fest. I believe that was April 28th. And this is what's that boy name? Fezadon. So check this out, y'all.
The act after the arrest of a man in Houston accused in a shooting that killed one and injured another at a popular New Orleans restaurant.
Kyron Fazan was arrested this morning at a home in Houston more than a week after police say he gunned down an employee at the iconic Mandina's restaurant. As David Jones reports, the 22-year-old is facing charges in the killing of a Mandina's employee.
The shooting on the first day of Jazz Fest sent diners scrambling. One tourist in her 50s was shot in the mayhem. She is expected to be okay. Fazan, whose name initially was sent out misspelled, was taken into custody without incident by U.S. Marshals. He is expected to be extradited to New Orleans. The shooting took the life of Hilbert Walker III, a Sophie B. Wright graduate and an accomplished student who was waiting on tables at the time. NOPD calling the killing of Walker a targeted shooting, although they have declined to elaborate further on any potential motive. Legal experts say it is a crime carried out far too often on New Orleans streets.
Sure smells like to anybody who does this kind of work that it was the settling up of some sort of a disagreement between the young man who worked there and the shooter. Maybe the shooter was working for hire or for other people, or maybe it was just personal between the two of them. But the tourists that were inside.
My first question is, did anybody pay attention to the fact that they said that they don't want to elaborate on what they think the reason that the shooting happened, right? That it may be the selling of a store. The guy that was waiting tables at the restaurant was Sophie B. Wright graduate, which Sophie B. Wright is a junior high school. It's not a high school. So how old was the guy that got shot? That's number one, right? My next question, if you feel like running through an answer right quick for anybody who's listening, somebody give me an answer on why y'all think they don't want to elaborate is that this man was shot. And I'm gonna bring up something else to you too.
Let's see.
So, Sai, what you think the possible reason is that they don't want to elaborate on why they don't want to give any detail?
It could be different. You're breaking up again, but it could be you're breaking up, but it could be different things. It could be different reasons. One of them is probably with them would they fuck up. They like to clean up whatever mess they made as well. So a lot of times when they really don't know what's going on, they usually speculate and try to leave as much as possible out of the story as they can.
Now, do you remember that they actually showed the video on Instagram of the young man getting shot at the restaurant, and there were two shooters?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Right at high school now. My bad. I just had to say that.
Oh, it's a high school now. So Sophie B. Wright is now a high school.
Josiah said Wright is a high school now.
Okay. I did not know that. I always thought it was a junior high.
So that should answer some of your question, right? With as far as with that,
right?
As far as the age thing.
Yeah, that knocked that one off the park for me. Thank you, Josiah. So, Chop, if you online now, what's one reason you could think that the police don't want to elaborate as to why they think or why they don't want to elaborate as to what was the reason he got killed by this Fezan person. The reason he got killed by this Fezan person.
Because it's an ongoing
Yeah,
investigation.
it going, Chuck. Yeah, it going, player. Turn whatever you got down in the back.
Okay, so it's an ongoing investigation is yours. Okay, I could roll with both of them. So, do you remember seeing the video, Chop, where they showed that there were actually two shooters the night that the young man that was working at Medina's got shot? One man had a Draco and the other man fired on him with a semi-automatic pistol. Okay, it must be experiencing technical difficulties. So I'm gonna roll to my next video.
Boy, I ain't got no damn technical difficulties.
So you ain't hear what I said?
What you said?
I said, so do you remember the video that was on Instagram where they showed the incident that took place at Medina's restaurant where the young man got killed? There were two shooters, not just one, right? One had the looked like a Draco, and the other one had a semi-automatic pistol. It was two shooters out there that night, right? So the video that they showing of dude walking through the area during the time all this
officers shows that this goes beyond bad apples and goes to systemic problems.
To what extent?
Here it is.
What
Here's the
fuck
second one.
Hey, you blowing your load, man. What are you doing?
At last report, Kyron Fazan remained in a Texas jail. The victim's father, Kilbert Walker III's father, told us that the family is now hoping that Fazan is held accountable for his son's murder. The man accused of killing waiter Hilbert Walker III at Mandina's has a long criminal history, including a gun charge. He's also accused of injuring a customer at the Mid-City restaurant during the April 28th shooting. Last week, the NOPD released this video of 22-year-old Kyron Fazan when officers were looking for him as a person of interest in the case. Monday, law enforcement caught up with Fazan at a home in Fort Bend County, Texas, near Houston. He was booked on charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and aggravated battery. Walker's father told WWL-TV he's glad Fazan is now in police custody.
OB get what he deserved. I forgive him for what he did, and I'm praying for him and his family also.
WWL-TV has learned at the time of the shooting there was a bench warrant out for Fazan in Jefferson Parish. JP court documents.
Arrest yesterday near Houston. Paul.
Sharice Katie, at last report.
How the damn thing keep doing that? All right. So Richie Rich.
Yeah, you got to give it a minute, Bill. What I was saying, pace yourself. You got to give it some time to jump from one thing to the other.
All right. So Richie Rich, what I think might have happened, I don't think it might have been like an interpersonal beef between the two. I think that something was going on where they were like they said, he may have been targeted, but I think he was targeted for another reason other than personal beef. I think he was the target because they may have been trying to draw out somebody that they was looking for to get to. So they used him, if that makes sense.
I think that it probably was something between them, and or nigga hired him to go do it, or
right. But if somebody hired them to do it, or just say they hired old boy who we talking about right now to do it, what would be their reason for hiring him?
Anything.
Right? What do you think old boy who just coming out of high school or getting ready to graduate high school was doing on the streets that warranted him being killed like that? Right? Man got a job working waiting tables, so he really ain't making too much of money, right?
That's
but
not necessarily true.
Not necessarily, but it's not a whole lot of
Most
money
waiters
though.
make most money. I know waiters that make $1,200 a week.
Shit, where they work at? I won't go work with them.
No, you ain't gonna be able to do that kind of work. You gotta carry the food on the thing and be able to move and sell the food. But I know waiters that make that kind of money. Dudes too, not even female.
Okay, so I retract what I said then. So dude might have been making a good little chunk of change as a waiter, right? What could have been the reason that he was targeted? You see what I'm saying? Well, it couldn't have been behind the money.
He had to go home, bro. I mean, he didn't live at the restaurant, so he could have been anything. He could have been a dice game. It could have been nigga said some dumb shit, and he could have fucked a bitch. It could have been anything.
All right. I still say, you know, because it's puzzling to me that if this was such a good person and his family and the schools say, oh, well, he was an up and coming kid, he was doing good, he was working, da da da. What was the reason? Like that was a purposely executed hit on this young man. For what though? Like that's what I'm saying. Like this is weird to me. But I'm getting off topic, but I want to get to the last clip that I have, and then I gotta switch over to another article and put the article up for y'all right quick. So give me a second. Let me play this last clip.
Walker's father told WWL TV he's glad Faizan is now in police custody.
OB get what he deserved. I forgive him for what he did, and I'm praying for him and his family also.
WWL TV has learned at the time of the shooting there was a bench warrant out for Faizan in Jefferson Parish. JP court documents indicate he pleaded guilty to possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting an officer last October. He was sentenced to 2 years of unsupervised probation for that crime. In January, he was held in contempt for refusing to appear in court, and a judge ordered his arrest. Faizan also faced charges in St. Bernard Parish. He pleaded guilty to illegal possession of a weapon in October of 2021. A judge sentenced him to 4 years in prison for that crime.
They keep getting them slap on the wrist. That's why they keep getting out committing crimes. I just hope this time it don't be the same. And I'm praying and hoping for that.
A spokeswoman for the Fort Bend Sheriff's Office confirmed Faizan remains in the county jail tonight. According to the Fort Bend District Attorney's Office, Faizan waived extradition and he will be brought back to New Orleans to face charges in the Mandinas shooting.
All right. So he waived extradition, right? Now, the reason I even brought that up is because I found it odd because I came across the article that they posted on NOLA Crime Updates. And I can't put it up on the main screen, but I definitely have it where I could read what they were talking about. So it says Houston police officers were dispatched to a shooting at the Broadstone Apartments in 2215 Avenida La Quinta Street shortly after 11:30 a.m. At the scene, they found an unresponsive male on the sidewalk with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. Now, this is the area and apartment complex where they arrested O'Boy. Right? Everybody with me so far? So it says paramedics at the scene pronounced the juvenile dead. HPD said the teen's identity is still pending verification by Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. A preliminary investigation determined that there was some sort of dispute between the 15-year-old and the suspect, which led to the deadly shooting. According to charging documents, the teen who was killed was wearing a black ski mask, black clothing, had a set of tools. HPD said their reports were of a car break-in at the apartment sometime before the shooting, but it's unknown if the incidents are related. So I'm gonna stop right there.
if they don't know that the incidents are related, how can they tie old boy to the crime if they don't even know if he committed the crime?
Good point.
Right? Then it's said that the 15-year-old that was killed was wearing what appeared to be car burglary ensemble. Black ski mask, black clothing, and had a set of tools. So where were you going,
Wait, can you
15-year-old?
pause for a minute? Which store you go to get that robbery of apparel?
You can go to any store nowadays.
What I'm just saying, like, is it on a mannequin like that, or what? What are they talking about? Is it on a mannequin like that with a pistol and shit?
Nah.
Oh,
But
okay,
that's
because the way they wrote
that's
it,
just me.
no, they stupid. I'm just pinpointing the stupidity. That's all. But go ahead, continue.
So, like, come on now. What can we really say about dude? Why are you walking around at 11:30 in the morning, 15 years old, wearing all black everything with a set of tools on you? Where you going to work at, though? Right? And then they had reports of a car burglary in the area. So how do we know you not the person going around breaking in these people's cars? But just for them to identify old boy, right? And then say, well, they don't even know if the incidents are related. Well, what do you have him for, right? What could you possibly have me for if you're saying you don't know if I shot him or not? It said the 22-year-old suspect was actually already in custody in the Fort Bend County Jail after being arrested by the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force for an unrelated felony out of New Orleans, HPD said. That felony charge is tied to a homicide from April 28th, according to documents. Now, how are you accusing me of a crime when I've already been in jail already? I was already arrested and in jail, and you accusing me of killing some 15-year-old kid who was breaking into cars?
And this was at the same time that they were giving him the charge. He was in prison at the time.
He was in jail already. How am I shooting somebody and I'm already in jail? So let's continue. It says Faison was reportedly staying at the Broadstone Apartments after fleeing New Orleans. Charging documents state that the gun the suspect used in the deadly shooting is linked to 3 other crimes in New Orleans, including another homicide from 2019. He is now awaiting transfer to the Harris County Jail on the murder charge. But you just said a few seconds ago, if I'm reading this right, that he was already arrested by the Violent Offenders Task Force and already sitting in the Harris County Jail, Fort Bend. So how you go from being in the Fort Bend Jail, already being arrested by the Gulf Coast Violent Offender Task Force for an unrelated felony out of New Orleans, right? To being a shooter of a 15-year-old at 11:30 in the morning at the apartment complex where you were staying when they already had got you out of them apartments and brought you to jail. That doesn't make sense, now does it?
Very, very far-fetched.
Easy peasy.
Very far-fetched.
The people said that the gun was used in other murders. If you get caught with the gun and it was used in other murders, you get all the charges.
Right. All the charges prior to the one that we talking about.
The only thing that get me is how could he possibly have done it, even though it's the same gun? How could he have done it when he was in jail?
He was already in jail, right?
The gun itself, I get that the gun was, you know what I mean? Okay, it's a burner, it got bodies on it. But I'm in jail. And this happened while I was in jail, if that's what he's saying.
That's the way it's written.
So, I mean,
because they're saying he was already in jail, which means Right, because for you to use the word already, he was already in Fort Bend from being arrested from the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force, which means when they found out where he went, which was Texas, they sent out a bolo through Texas. They found out where he was
They
at,
giving
went
him
got
that
him.
body too. Yeah, they giving him that body too. I don't know if it happened at the same time when he was in prison. You see what I'm saying? Like, did he shoot the guy and then wind up getting caught for some other shit? Now they got him, and now the gun is traced back to him. Or they saying that when this guy got killed, we got you for it, even though you in prison. That's what I'm caught between them two. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they saying because it's kind of confusing me a little bit.
It's weirdly worded. I'll use that one for the night. Weirdly worded because it said the charging document: the teen who was killed was wearing a black ski mask, black clothing, had a set of tools. HPD said there were reports of a car break-in at the apartment sometime before the shooting, but it's unknown if the incidents were related. So they can't tell that somebody saw this kid breaking into their car and waited until the right opportunity and bust a little man melon, right? Then they're saying Fazan was identified as the suspect in the case after investigators reviewed the evidence and witness statement. So here's where the bearing of the false witness theory come in there. Who's to say that they really saw this man do that? And then they're saying they reviewed evidence and witness statements. But y'all saying that the man was actually already in custody in the Fort Bend jail after being arrested by the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force for an unrelated felony out of Northern. So they already had dude in jail. That's why this just seems so weird that something that happened while I was in jail, witnesses saying I did it even though I was already in jail. Yeah, I think y'all right.
Is they saying? That's what I'm saying? Is they saying like, nigga, fuck that. You tied
did
to
it.
all this shit. You got this. Yeah, you got the rest of these motherfuckers. Like Chad saying, because you did this shit before he came got you. Is
And
that
that's
the case?
what
You see what I mean? I don't know. It sounds like he did it already, and he wound up going to jail. Then it was like, oh yeah, you got this body from round two. We got you with him too. So,
but that's kind of hard though, bro. Like, damn. Well, I mean, you as that I guess the old saying is you reap what you sow, right? So you brought all that bad mojo to yourself. I would only think that by right is gonna come back at you.
You reap what you sow, mean you equally reap what you sowed. So
Right.
So that's not equal. That's corrupt.
Unless he get the death penalty. Remember, he gotta go back to Texas and face trial for that charge out there in Texas too.
They
Right?
wanted him probably for the Texas murder and not the what you call it. But I got a question. Did they say the family got any funds from the people getting killed like that?
No.
Okay.
Nah, no mention of that unless it's somewhere in the comments. Yeah, so I mean, I really didn't have much of nothing. It just I wanted to talk about that because it's weird, like how we see these
nah,
things
you
play
can't win.
out.
It's all good.
It's weird how we see these things play out in the media, and And Chop, I'm really starting to understand what you're saying. We can't just jump to conclusions, and we gotta start listening to what's being said and start really reading between the lines with it, because that which I read just now, if you heard me read it and I read it more than once and I broke it down as I was reading it still sounds like he was already in jail. Well, fuck it, dog. You're gonna take the rap for this one too. Since we got you and you're a violent offender, we don't know what's happening. We're gonna give you this charge too.
There's a bunch of crime going on right now. It'll look good for all our statistics if we get a nigga. Fuck.
Right. That's what it sounds like. Let me see. The nigga put too much ice in one of these drinks. Yeah. Anybody got any more questions? Anybody in the comments?
Yeah, give him a second. If not, we could move on, buddy. Well, that was interesting though about that. You know, like I see, it all depends on the details of what actually happened with that, because it would look bad on them if you falsifying documents and shit to try to get a nigga a gun charge.
Oh, you know what? I did say I had something else, but I can't pull it up right now, so I'm gonna leave that one out. Being that I'm glad you mentioned that, Sal. We know that there are the falsification of documents, false identification. These are all the things that could possibly be going on, like what I'm looking at as far as the court case: false identification, false arrest, falsification of evidence, race-based theory, like using his race against him as saying he committed this crime knowing that somebody of another color might have did it, or another race. So just all other things to think about, because that's initially where it was going to go, but I'm having too bad a technical difficulties to go through all that.
Stay in the kitchen. Well, definitely. Chop Track, you ready?
Yeah and no. Okay, no. Shit. I'm looking for my. Is my mic muted? It's not muted. It's on.
Yeah, you on? Yeah, you good?
Oh yeah. No,
I was just letting you flow, homie.
Yeah, no.
Let me know, Claire. You want me to go, or you?
Yeah, you could go ahead and take it.
Oh, all right. Well, I was gonna jump into the police corruption, people. I just wanted to touch down on some of these older cases that we soon forget about. With a lot of this corruption, I know the news haven't been really talking about no kind of justice corruption, but obviously it's going on. It's going on to a high scale. It's a very high percentage of a lot of stuff that's going on right now, as far as drug sales, extortion, rapes, murders, hits, and all types of fuckery from our judicial system, and what I'm gonna get into something that I seen a dude do. Is called from his website, realnews.com. He do a real good breakdown, and this was like I'm gonna give it like a good 12-13 years ago that this man did this, and it was based on the Katrina situation and the corruption with the police around that area and around that era, excuse me. In time, it was more than meets the eye when it came to the seriousness of that situation with that hurricane, and especially uh, uh, more lower class melanated people. You know, it was a lot of stuff done to us for a reason, and we gonna kind of dive into that. You know, and I also, but first I'm gonna go into the Baltimore situation that happened around Freddie Gray some years past. Soon, how, like I say, soon, how we forget, you know what I mean? So I just want to, you know, just draw these things back up in your subconscious a little bit and try to get y'all to see what is going on with our, you know, not only our police force, but also our judicial system, and how this stuff kind of ties into what's going on today. I got a few videos. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I just want to pinpoint some of this stuff, and I'm gonna chop it up with my rounds, and you know, put it in the comments, or you know, just say what you feel in your brain. I don't give a damn. But you know, here we go. I'm gonna start my left fair use like we do, so they won't clip your crew. Let me get there. let me get him right. Hold on. Let me play around right quick, so it won't be no misunderstandings, people. Alright. Let me say, won't be no misunderstandings. These people here playing games with me. So here we go.
Seven police officers indicted on federal charges.
The abuses of the gun trace task force are among the worst Baltimore City police corruption ever uncovered.
It's hard to even find the word for the level of mayhem that they spread throughout the city.
Hey, Sarge. Hey, come downstairs right quick.
When all this stuff with the gun trace task force was coming out, I thought they were just making these things up, and it was all true.
They broke into houses, they stole drugs, they carried BB guns that they could plant on people they shot.
Covering up meetings, searching without a warrant.
These guys carried around a machete, grappling hooks, masks that look like a skeleton, all kinds of burglary equipment.
It wasn't a fluke that all these cops ended up in the GTF together and were getting away with what they were getting away with. Somebody was obviously watching out for them.
It's the biggest, not talked about secret that everyone knows.
How all of this was missed, I don't know, but it's unacceptable.
This is serious movie material here. This is better than Serpico.
Cold-blooded. That's who run this bitch. That shit don't stop.
I don't care about that gun or the drugs. You want to go somewhere and talk, keep it 100 or not? Last chance.
One of the ways they got away with it is they were robbing the voiceless. They targeted people who had records, people who were on probation, people they thought were drug dealers and they thought wouldn't make complaints.
I was always looking over my shoulder, never knowing when is the police going to do something to me again.
Like they just was targeting people, whoever they can get money off of, or just playing stuff on people.
They locked me up and took my money. I'm like, God dang, you could have kept the money and just let me go.
I'm getting pulled over for not having a seatbelt on inside a gas station, putting air in my tire. It don't make no sense at all.
They copping out and it don't even be their charge. It don't be them. Yo, and they'll have nobody fighting for them.
To see all these people hit with all this bullshit, and then you find out that cops are stealing and dealing drugs. The violation of public trust that in particular did was like unfathomable.
It makes me bitter because it fucked my life up.
thing about this case is there's still so many unanswered questions.
Who's questioning the gun arrest?
Where did we mess up? You know, did we have strong enough checks and balances?
State's attorney's office knows exactly what's going on, and they do what? They just look the other way.
But I pledge to help build public trust in law enforcement.
The answers are not far away.
Yeah, fellas, what part of the game is that? You know, just a quick little, kind of like a little trailer for that book. You know, shout out to the author of that book. Definitely, people, if y'all interested in that type of stuff, you know, go check it out. It's you know, it's on the Kindle and all that. So, yeah, this stuff actually happened, fellas. I don't know if y'all remember this, but this is around the same time when Freddie Gray got killed. Anything before I play number 2?
Oh no, I was just
so I wanted to say, man, that seemed like some stuff that we seen play out, like you see. How soon we forget, because it don't seem like all of that was that long ago, but man, it was. And I don't remember a time, especially during that time of year, where that type of stuff wasn't happening. Even down here in our little city, we still had cops doing that type of stuff down here. But I don't think it was like what them boys was doing, but we had cops down here who, even if you had a legal weapon on you, they'll take your gun, talk about, oh, well, you got to come get it down from the station or whatever.
Don't speak so soon, brother. Don't speak so soon, brother. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be talking about BMO and us, so don't speak so soon about it.
The fuck that was?
What I mean by that is you saying that you don't think we was on that type of level and all that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you comparing it, you're gonna see what's happening on with the rest of it, because you know we actually got our own little pile of shit that we trying to go through too. You know, and it's kind of these tactics that these dudes used in people around this time. So these people, you see what I'm saying? So these people were actually moving like gangs. These dudes were actually into this task force to do this. They had a name for it. You know what I'm saying? This is why they create these task force, yo. They know what type of wolves and weasels they go and get, because they think that's what they need to go out here on the street to get these dope dealers and shit. Why do you need that type of force anyway?
Right.
Why you falsely accusing people? Why is you dropping ounces of cocaine in the back of people's seats and shit? So my question there too with y'all, what part of the game is that? Even if I'm in the game, right? And my whole thing is not to get caught, correct?
The thing is,
what part of the game is that when you could still get robbed by the police who's supposed to be playing the game, but they do it both. They do it both of them. They play both roles. They being the robber and the cop. So what do you do in those instances when you feel like, you know, that's a part of the game, basically? What part of the game is that?
That's a part of the game where you make up the rules as you go along.
I think if it's on a big scale, it's a give and take thing with the real hustlers. You know what I'm saying? Like they you know have them on payroll and all that type of shit like that or whatever. Might be sending them to rob niggas and do shit like that, just on a big scale. But as a police officers, I mean, I think it's called extortion or whatever. They can
Mhm.
extort people, and
Mhm.
it's like fuck the they is the ones that you have to go tell it to anyway. So
Yeah.
um,
So
I
it's a
think
good
it's
scam then, right? It's a good scam for police, bro. That's what you're saying.
Definitely.
That's how they got to do it to get what to get what they're getting out of it. Just like you said with the drug dealer that's helping him move his shit, right, y'all? I'm still a police. I still could take your money and then say 2 months later get you busted. Cause I know where your stash and your money, so
Right.
I don't need you no more, dog. This the type of games they do. You see what I'm saying? They set up task force to bust your shit down and everything. So it goes beyond it goes beyond the scale of it them just preying on weak poor people. This is the setup to do that. But it's also to fuck with niggas that got charges, niggas that's in jail, niggas that don't need that last strike, you know, shit like that. Well known people, well to do people that got money so
Hmm.
it's a open scale with that shit. And these be more cops, this task force that they created, these dudes was just doing that, dog. That's all they was doing. That's all they was doing. So one of the dudes who they showed on the video, I don't know if y'all noticed him, he was one of the main ones. Uh 3 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago, they had the trial for that and people was coming out. So I'm gonna play that for y'all for that kind of like an ending to the other clip to show that something did happen, after that.
The corruption trial in downtown Baltimore.
And more bombshell testimony coming from Detective Maurice Ward, who is still on the stand from Tuesday. ABC 2's Brian Kubler live downtown with what happened in court today. Brian?
Kelly, more shocking testimony out of Ward today that in addition to Detectives Herschel and Taylor has put the Baltimore City Police Department on trial. Former gun trace task force officer Maurice Ward is singing, and he's striking some pretty high notes in the Baltimore City Police Department. This morning, while still under direct questioning from the government, Ward testified that 2 GTTF officers were tipped off to the federal investigation. Detective Marcus Taylor was tipped off by a, quote, source inside the Internal Affairs Bureau. And then Sergeant Wayne Jenkins was tipped by Sergeant Ryan Gwynn at the Training Academy. Gwynn, you'll recall, was revealed as Officer Number 2 in a recent indictment that charged Jenkins with the planting of evidence in 2010 and sent 2 men to federal prison. This was the case in which slain homicide detective Sean Suter was set to testify for in the day after he was killed. On cross-examination this afternoon, both defense attorneys used Ward to describe a culture within the Baltimore Police Department that incentivized gun seizures with free overtime and slash days, the practice of marking an officer present when he was really at home on a day off. Ward testified to a conversation he had with his Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, where Jenkins told the commissioner right after the riots about the overtime and slash days for guns policy, and the commissioner at the time said, quote, do what you have to do. Both Herschel and Taylor's attorneys painting a picture of a police department incentivizing gun seizures to quell the violence of a riot-torn city while looking the other way. And all of it headed up by their top performer, a Sergeant Herschel's attorney described as always, quote, ripping and roaring. Now, this afternoon, the government called a victim of the gun trace task force. Sean Whiting testified how officers robbed him of about $16,000 in cash and personal belongings. He told the jury that even when he was locked up, he began writing the BPD, the FBI, and the DOJ about these specific officers. This trial takes a break tomorrow and will resume Monday morning at 10 a.m. For now, we're live in downtown Baltimore. Brian Kubler, ABC 2 News.
All right.
How much they robbed him out of? How much they robbed him out of? What they did him?
A chunk of
What
money.
happened? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that
Got
out
that
there for
boy
y'all.
indicted and got
Y'all
two
can speak
people
however
indicted
y'all
and
want to
sent to
speak about
federal
that.
prison on some trumped up charges.
Man, these dudes was
And
doing all
did I
type of
hear that
shit,
right
man.
did I hear that right when they said that one of the officers who testified was killed after he testified?
Man,
Yeah,
what the
well,
fuck that noise is?
yeah, I hear like a cricket or something. That's
Yeah, I'm
probably
sitting
Pete. Mute your
outside.
mic. Mute your mic, brother. Thank you.
Sound like a nigga was.
I was about to ask too. Yeah, I was like, what is that? I be dying laughing. This dude there play too much.
Man, bro. I was like, what the fuck? I know my ears
But yeah,
wasn't playing.
he right though. Like it was a cop that actually got killed right before he was supposed to go to trial, dog.
Damn.
Yeah, I had that clip too, but you know I got too many damn clips. So, but yeah, it was another cop who was involved. You know what was going on, and he was due to come to court, bro, and he wound up dead with his own gun too, chap. They heard the last audio they caught from him was him like in a scuffle struggle, and then everything just went black. And then when they found him, yeah, gunshot wound to the head with his own gun. How they pulled up on him. So just imagine what actually happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Like that shit. You can only be that wicked, chap, to even try to combat some shit like that.
Right.
You gonna really do, or you know what I'm saying, like, or like really care to do the investigation work to really find out what happened, bro. And this is what we about to get into. You know, this shit being systematic. You know, having a stem from somewhere, being deep rooted, though. That's why I call this a mixture of what we all kind of talking about. You know what I'm saying? This justice corruption. It's corruption and it's justice, bro. Like as far as what they call justice, you see what I'm saying? It's not fair, bro. And we gotta look at it. They say she blind, right? She ass must be deaf with no fingers or something too.
Damn.
Cause she got stage 4 cancer, child. Justice got stage. Justice something wrong with her, bro. I'm you know what I mean? Like I'm not really pinpointing how this actually supposed to work versus how you say it work. So, we about to come all the way down to the NOLA. Now, like I said, I'm gonna bring up the corruption that happened around Katrina and how them police was lying and shit and shooting people on the bridge. Chop, do you remember this?
Oh yeah, one of my partners got killed on the bridge.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Do you want to speak on that before I get into this?
Yeah, they killed them on the he was going across the Danziger. That man wouldn't even like that. Like that man probably just trying to get to his family or something like that. And they killed that man on the bridge. Shit crazy.
Yeah, people. So just the type of stuff we talking about when you have that authority, right? Or you feel like you have that authority, but it's really actually a privilege for you to work for people. But instead of you treating it that way, you make it seem like now you're a part of a gang or a task force where you have to enforce all this shit on regular people that ain't got half the equipment y'all have on, first of all, and then come at them the way y'all come at them. I'm talking about sniping motherfuckers and everything, child. So we about to get into this. Like I said, these people from I think it's the Real Talk News. They did a good job on give them their props. I hope y'all don't cut me, but this is for fair use. This is for teaching purposes only. My people, how soon we forget, you know what I mean? Let's retrack and really think about this, because some of the things y'all see tonight, it might give you up on some of the things you hear today. It might help put some of those puzzle pieces in when y'all hear some of these goddamn news clips, especially with these murders and all the stuff my brother gonna talk about next and everything. So I got a couple of them, y'all. So chap, if y'all got anything to say, just let me know. Yeah, and they boom. Can yeah, so I hit that. Let me know. I'ma just keep letting them play. All right, y'all.
All right,
All right.
I'm here.
All right.
Pleasure.
So one of the things that people have talked about after the Katrina is the role of the police and the armed forces particularly, but a lot has come to light about the role of the New Orleans police and abuses of power. Tell us a bit about what people are looking at, but also was this an anomaly where police went nuts in the course of the storm, or was this kind of normal New Orleans police behavior that is just getting looked at because of the storm?
The first thing to understand, Paul, is in those first days after the storm, suddenly the media coverage shifted from sympathy to the people trapped on rooftops, the victims of this disaster, to portraying people as criminals, as looters, as armed gangs roving the streets, shooting at police helicopters, raping infants. We later found out those stories were false, but they were propagated by the chief of police, who said that infants were being raped in the Superdome, by the mayor, who said that there was lawlessness on the street, that he declared martial law, even though no such thing exists under Louisiana law. The governor of the state of Louisiana, Kathleen Blanco at the time, said, "I'm sending in National Guard troops. They're locked and loaded. They've been trained to shoot to kill, and I expect they will."
Now, hang on for a second. You're saying there were no incidents, or some incidents were exaggerated to look like it was a bigger phenomena than it was?
I'm saying those incidents that were specifically talked about that were incredibly outrageous, like infants being raped in mass numbers in the Superdome. There was no raping of infants that anyone's documented that happened in the Superdome. Shooting at rescue helicopters, again, no one's documented where that happened, although that was widely talked about at the time. Another incident that was talked about, the second in charge of the police department said he heard officers radioing in saying they needed more ammo. They were running out of ammo, like they were in a wartime situation. Again, this call never actually happened. So these major incidents that were talked about never happened. There were certainly people, both police officers and regular civilians, that were taking goods out of stores, mostly food and water, to feed people in their community. But the massive, violent outbreak that was talked about in the news that was used to demonize people, that actually didn't happen.
So why do people think the police were doing this? I mean, what's in it for them to exaggerate the issue?
What you mean was in it for them to exaggerate the issue? Nigga, all kind of shit. They can hurry up and get fucking resources down there. Like, that's what they do, period. Like, I'm glad they said that, because that's basically
Good question.
that's their whole premise. Like, I'm a lie to the public, make them scared. Because think about it. New Orleans and the East and all that so bad. Why the fuck they got white people moving to the East if it's so bad? Why they keep gentrifying all these neighborhoods in the black community if it's bad and this, that,
like
and the
roaches.
third? I don't know. I'm just saying.
You see it. You see it. I'm going on the book too, brother. But that he about to get into that question you just said too. Like I said, that was a good question he asked. And that's why I wanted to present this to y'all, because I knew you was gonna get something out of it as well. So y'all check this out, people.
Why do people think the police were doing this? I mean, what's in it for them to exaggerate the issue?
I think it was a
Excuse my audio too, people.
It's hard to imagine if you weren't in the city what it was like there, but we never imagined this entire city would be underwater. Everything was unimaginable. Everything seemed like we were in a fantasy world, and so many of the things that actually did happen seemed like they couldn't possibly have happened. For example, one thing that really did happen is people were trying to cross out of the city over the Crescent City Bridge, and they were met by armed police from the suburb of Gretna that didn't want people of New Orleans in their city, and they shot at the people from New Orleans and forced them to turn back. This seemed like fiction when we first heard about it. Many of the police killings that happened in that period after Katrina seemed like fiction. It was hard to believe any of this. It was a time of almost mass hysteria.
To what extent did all of this have a class character? Meaning, I mean, obviously the poor were more affected and more of them were on the bridge. But was this actually like defending wealthy neighborhoods or just police afraid of some general anarchy?
It was both race and class. Overwhelming the people left in the city were poor and working class African Americans. There were many white folks that were left in the city. There were many middle class and upper class African Americans left. But the majority were poor and working class African Americans. And the fear was of poor black people in the city. That was what the fear was. And these incidents came out of this fear that these were criminals, these were gangs, and anything that needed to be done should be done to stop them. The second in charge of police department told officers, it's between you and your conscience what you want to do. If you can sleep with yourself at night, then you can do it.
And we have evidence of those instructions.
We have officers that testified that he heard that. The second in command of police department, who later became the chief of police, Warren Riley, has said he didn't say that, although he did say that we need to reclaim the streets. He says he did say that, and even that, according to criminal justice experts, sends a very mixed message to officers about what's right and what's allowed and what isn't.
Well, what investigations are going on and what's come out of them?
Yeah, Chop. Eddie Riley and Eddie Compass was the was police chiefs at that time. Yeah, they Ray Nagin, yes sir, and Blanco.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy as hell, bro. But they say, like, I hate that they had to lie. Like, was it that bad down here for them to really have to lie?
That's what he's saying. Like, it wasn't. It was basically them presenting a narrative to the people who didn't live in New Orleans. Look, we're protecting this city from poor black people. Look, y'all, look, we're protecting this city from poor black people. Look, we shooting their ass. So when they try to make a move, we stopping them from crossing bridges. Look, see? You see what I'm saying? It's and then and then at the same time, sold the sympathy shit too, using the Superdome and shit and extra exaggerating about that. Not only exaggerating, having the people still in fucked up conditions. See, you know what I'm saying? It's like a hand over fist type thing. It's like we gonna make this work on both ends. You know, it's all fucked up. So we gonna pull something off on each end, and we gonna get the police to do it because they out here rogue. You know, a lot of police left and all that. Like,
which is exactly what was going on.
Oh, you're back. You're back. Hey.
And I was talking my behind off. I hadn't even, but I was you, and I'm glad you played that, bro.
What he deserves, sad trumpet or clapping?
Fucking sad trumpet.
So, so when it came down to it, looking at what they was talking about, like I fled New Orleans before the storm actually hit. So when we got out there in BR, they wasn't even playing the news. Like nobody. I was saying when I left New Orleans, I left New Orleans right before the storm hit. So when we got out there, we didn't start seeing the news. Like they wasn't telling nobody nothing about what was going on in New Orleans. So when we got the news, finally it started like actually seeing the news. They're talking about people being killed, looting going on, and I'm quite sure the looting that they're talking about was looting just to be able to eat, have something to drink, you know, stuff like that. And there was an incident where a young boy went in I think that's the Walgreens right there on Barone. And he was coming out of there with a case of water, and the cops just shot him. Like, just straight up shot him. Like, no warning, nothing, just shoot. and the
Right, right.
man
And
was
these
only
are the
trying to bring
things.
out some water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
and these are the tactics that we speaking of, or the man speaking of. That's what he was saying. The misfair treatment of the people, and we actually saw a lot of that. Thanks that social media was already here by then, because you saw the white couple coming out of there with the bottles of water. So
mhm.
yeah, man,
So it wasn't like they
around.
wasn't looting either. It's just let's just eliminate as many blacks as we can.
Yeah. Basically, like let's show them that these people are savages and they can't take over the city. These poor black people can't do this. So we have to show that we are doing this. And even the ones, think about it, even the ones who stayed around, they stayed around with they vigilante ass, stuck around to do the shit with they racist ass. So
Mhm.
think about that too. Racist cops
Right.
stuck around for fair for what you call that shit, Hunger Games and shit. These motherfuckers is crazy. So you had a lot of that going on. It was a concoction of fuck shit. So I'm gonna keep it going because I got about two more.
Well, what investigations are going on and what's come out of them?
Well, some of the most notable ones are Henry Glover. So, was an African-American man on the West Bank who was shot by one police sniper as he was picking through some bags that were in the back of a supermarket looking for supplies. He was then taken captive by other officers who saw a wounded black man and thought he must be a looter. And the next anyone saw of his body, it was burned to a crisp in the back of a car that was about a block from the police department. So people are investigating those officers. It seems likely that several officers will be charged. Some already have been charged with killing and setting his body on fire. On the same day, Danny Brumfield Sr. was one of thousands of people outside the convention center in New Orleans. He saw officers drive by with no help, no food, no water. He went running up to one police car. The police car deliberately hit him, and then officers shot him in the back in front of his family. This is another case that's being investigated. Perhaps the most notorious case is Danziger Bridge. Several civilians were fleeing New Orleans east into the center of New Orleans. They were unarmed. Police rolled up, again, assuming that these were criminals, that these were looters, and they just started firing on these unarmed civilians. 2 were killed, 4 were wounded, including Ronald Madison, a mentally challenged man who was shot in the back by one officer. Another officer ran up and kicked and stomped on him until he was dead. Among those people that were wounded, very serious injuries. One woman had her arm shot partly off. Another man required a colostomy bag. But it goes beyond the killings. When senior officers came upon the scene, they realized that this would not stand up well. And so they began a process of fabricating evidence, inventing witnesses, planting bullets, planting guns. They arrested Lance Madison, Ronald Madison's brother, and charged him under false charges of shooting at officers, held him in jail for several months. They had secret meetings over the following weeks to conspire and get their story straight. And none of this came to light for years, even though the Madison family and others were trying against a wall of silence to get these stories out.
So how did they finally come out?
It's a really exciting and inspiring story.
Planting evidence, lying, all kind of fuckery. What y'all think?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all got something, or y'all want me to keep going?
That's
Oh, my
crazy
bad. Go ahead, Chuck.
that they can't admit that kind of shit goes on. See, that's what my question be to people that be saying, yeah, send them to jail. Like, nigga, them people gonna kill them.
Yeah.
They gonna die in the jail. Because that shit ain't right, and the system ain't right.
System ain't been right since been right. I don't think a lot of people fully understand that when it comes down to joining the police force, some people join it for good reason, but for the most, those that you see committing these types of acts already had evil doings in their head when they join the police force. Like, I want to do the most fucked up shit and use the badge to hide behind. That's what it sounds like, you know.
That's definitely a fact.
And now that the tables are turning and the people are saying, you know what? Nah, we can't keep letting this go on. But then again, even with the people saying we can't keep letting this go on, you already knew it was going on for X amount of time anyway. And just because it started affecting people who were not of, should I say, color, that's when you decide to want to act. You know, because I can't see them saying they accidentally shot a white person. And, you know, because if they went through the whole scenario of fabricating stories, planting bullets, planting
That's
evidence.
one of the things they say, though. They say that they killed just as many white people. They say that.
And that's not true. And we see it play out in the.
By looking at the news, we don't know, you know, like it's all over the place, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they could tug and pull on our emotions about what they do or what they actually do, but you know, they can't hide from these records, though. That's the whole thing with me. They can't hide from the records. Yes, it's on paper, Rick Brown, for doing all kind of fuck shit. So I can't see you on TV talking like and saying that, hey, you're doing everything you can for the city. No, you're not. You on that fuck shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, shit like that, I could
can't go
compare.
on TV and say that you're not doing everything you're supposed to be doing for the city. But
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up, bro. It's twisted, and you know, we have a lot of that in this, and I be trying to get people to understand too. It's not just rogue people doing this. As you can see, it's a commute thing. It's a systematic thing. It's something that they get together once they bond. That's what it is, and they all, you know, they all indulge into it. See what I'm saying? Some might not look at it, you know, stronger than others. Like I said, you still have racist cops. You still have road cops that want to be drug dealers and stuff. You know, all kind of, you know, different avenues and shit. You know, you never know what be on, you know, a person's mind when they go to these, you know, lengths to actually do this. I mean, a lot of it is motivated by money. You could tell, you know, money and power. You know what I'm saying?
Power more than money sometimes.
That's right. So I got two more, but the last one short. But it's gonna leave on a good note though, because I want to talk about the person I'm gonna present.
These stories out.
So how did they finally come out?
It's a really exciting and inspiring story, actually. Those families at the center were joined by grassroots activist groups like Safe Streets, Strong Communities, which was a criminal justice reform organization, and the People's Hurricane Relief Fund, which was another organization. A former Black Panther who founded an organization called Common Ground named Malik Rahim told the story to whoever he could. Eventually, these documented stories were used as evidence that were passed on to Rebecca Solnit, a journalist from California, who passed it on to another journalist named A.C. Thompson, who wrote about it for ProPublica and The Nation. Armed with A.C. Thompson's investigation, activists then went to a new Justice Department under Eric Holder and lobbied them to perform the investigations. And finally, the investigations began to happen. But this now, we're talking about 2009 that we finally saw those investigations of what happened in 2005.
Lohman admitted he helped cover up for 7 fellow officers who shot shootings. Federal officials say Lohman allowed an investigator to plant a clean gun under the bridge to make it look like the victims shot at officers first, even though he knew they were in fact unarmed.
And what other evidence that this isn't just a few sociopathic cops or freaked out cops? What other evidence is showing this is more systemic or coming from a culture established at more senior levels?
Well, A.C. Thompson has documented 10 separate shootings around the city within a period of a couple days of unarmed civilians being shot. So already the widespread nature of it is one aspect of the evidence. But the details of the crimes, I think, show the systemic nature of this as well. For example, on Danziger Bridge, you had one officer, as he's writing the report, he's in a room filled with officers, and he yells out, "I need a name." And another officer yells back, "Lakeisha." and he writes down Lakeisha Smith, and this later became one of the fabricated witnesses that they used. The fact that they felt comfortable inventing witnesses in front of a room full of officers shows that this goes beyond bad apples and goes to systemic problems.
To what extent do people involved in this think this is an extension of a police culture that existed before Katrina, or is it?
And what he mean by that in layman's term is like, look how comfortable they is with being fucked up, knowing that they done took a oath of the badge and all that. Like he like you go along with it. Like look how easy they go along with the fuck shit. Like he say, bro, I need a name. Lakeisha. And he wrote, you see what I'm saying? Like you just going along with it. You're not even second guessing it. And I think that's what, we gotta dive into. One, like I say, once they put that blue on, you see what I'm saying? It then becomes a norm to be going along with whatever. So shit, like it's stemmed in all. I think it's stemmed in all forms of that type of stuff, like military as well. It's that same attachment. Like cult like. You know what I'm saying? Even it's wrong, but that's your sergeant, that's your upper, that's your higher up. So, that's a part of it too. So, yeah. Part 5 short, so I'm just gonna hit it and we could talk about it.
Shows that this goes beyond bad apples and goes to systemic problems.
To what extent do people involved in this think this is an extension of a police culture that existed before Katrina, or is it something that happened in the craziness of Katrina?
We have 2 officers that are facing the death penalty for pre-Katrina crimes from the 90s for assassinations that they carried out. They're locked in prison currently. We have some of the cases that the feds are investigating right now include Raymond Robert, who was badly beaten by officers in the months before Katrina. There's dozens of other cases from the years before Katrina that activists are asking the Justice Department to look into. So definitely there's a feeling that this is a department with a long history of corruption. The police chief from 1994 to 2002, Richard Pennington, ended up firing or disciplining or transferring more than 500 officers during his time. He worked with the federal government to try and root out corruption. And even many of the observers from that time said he only began to scratch the surface of a notoriously corrupt department.
Are people satisfied with the role of the federal attorney general or not?
People are saying that the feds need to go further. It seems very likely that there will be some form of federal oversight of the department. The new police chief admits it, the mayor admits it and says that he welcomes it. The question is, what form will this oversight take? Will it bring the systemic change that people are asking for, or will it be small cosmetic change? And that's the battle that's happening right now in the streets of New Orleans.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for joining us.
Will it be cosmetic, or will it really dig down in the roots and get to the problem, huh, fellas? Because it is a problem. So, and it's like he was just saying. Rest in peace to Richard Pennington, one of our coolest chiefs that we ever had down here. Like that man said, he arrested over 500 transferred and whatever else officers. They had any fuck shit. They had any fuck shit on their jacket. You hear me? He got their ass out of there. And the goddamn murder rate and all that shit went down 70%. So let me ask y'all fellas. Now we talking about all this shit, the guns, the shit on the streets, the the murder rate, the violence, the churn on this, the mama's doing that, the daddy ain't this, and we all joining in hands with each other and killing everybody and shit. Why, when he got rid of police, the murder rate went down? It wasn't because he arrested people like they be talking about now, to go to Chop Point about just throwing niggas in jail. Why the shit didn't go down when they was arresting people? Why it went down when the police got their ass up out of there? Oh, okay.
Because they're the ones.
I'm gonna leave y'all with that, and I pass it on, Chop.
They're the ones been spiking the numbers. They've been doing that shit. They gotta do it so they can get their money.
Meeting the quota. That's what that was. Meeting the quota. And so
That is one thing. That's one factor though. But as you can see, it's more than that. Just by looking at what your boy
so
was talking about. It's
if
it's,
if
it's a
if the
lot of
murder
shit.
rate
It's not
went
just
down
no
behind police
crazy
being
cops.
fired and transferred up out of the city to go somewhere else, I think that the murder rate went down like it went down because maybe the police were actually the ones committing all of these murders.
Hey, bro. That's a part of it too. That's what I'm saying. So good points, fellas. I pass
And
the mic.
to answer your first part of the question about the will it be cosmetic or will it actually get to the root of the problem? If they ain't got to the root of the problem all this time, I don't think they ever gonna get to the root of the problem. So I'm always gonna be cosmetic until the feds fully take over the city, meaning from the top to the bottom, from the mayor to the police. Then we'll actually start seeing some real change.
Or they could just hire another Richard Pennington. But they sell
Where you gonna find another one of them at? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did wind up leaving soon as he got shit straight.
Yeah,
But
Nig and them did that. They got him out of office. That's why he lost. Nig and bought your boy in the bought Eddie Compass in. He bought his own people in. That nigga was a fool, man.
Yeah.
Round left and went to Atlanta. And that was in 04. He been Richard been here since 94, child.
That boy did his tenure here did bring a good change to the city. And I'm gonna say, even on the back end, with crime being low like that, money was being made in a good way. I'll say that. Because brothers was out there hustling. But
Right, it was fucked up. Like it was fucked up. It's like he kind of tried though, bro. It's like it takes even longer than that. That's what I'm saying. Like it's been a problem. Like he said, even before Katrina. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at it like
even
that
before,
too. That crack epidemic and all that shit, man. That shit started a whole thing of all that shit. Like
several
yeah,
generations
bro.
of it.
That tore up. Like man, bro. I'm telling you. So just what that man did, it's like just cleaning the dirt up under the nail. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you still gotta take a bath.
Right.
So
Don't clean your
it's
fingernails and
man.
not take a
I'm
bath.
talking about corrupt. I'm talking about corrupt, nigga. So yeah, bro. And New
yeah,
Orleans
that's
not no big city, so shit crazy.
that shit is crazy, bro. Man, but I'm glad we talking about the corruption in the numbers because I think one of the things that because people's basically talking about them fucking with the paperwork and shit, and dude already being in jail and they pinning the murder on him and shit. Besides talking about the corruption in the police departments, period. But his shit basically saying almost the same thing my shit saying too, because I think that they blowing up the women getting in the shit, and they not talking about the whole situation of it. Like it's a woman getting killed, and automatically, it's the remorse, and women shouldn't be getting killed, and some of them getting shot while they with their kids and all that shit or whatever. And they had a case that happened or whatever. And I've been watching the news. They've been blowing, like I say, everybody in New Orleans know they've been blowing women, killing
Look, I call it the
people,
damsel in distress syndrome.
women getting killed. You know what I'm saying? But they had a case that just happened in the midst of all that shit that they did not talk about, and or they talked about it, but it was pretty brief. It wasn't as detailed as they do with the men. Like wait, hold on, let me see. No, all right, I'm gonna start with All right, yeah, because they got a whole fucking they got a whole what you call it, man, a whole news article for the women getting killed type shit. But they leave out this one. That's what I'm about to show y'all. Hold on, women. I'm just searching this shit right quick because it's on the flash shit I just thought about. Men kill. Oh, look. There you go. All right, here we go. It's coming up. There we go. Y'all see the screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right.
Yeah.
If y'all can see the screen, it says woman in the search box. It says woman kills man in New Orleans. That was my search, right? I think the first three, or let's see. The first one says a mother died following a shooting on the interstate. The second one says Metro New Orleans crimes. Woman shot and killed in car. That was the second one because I asked them to show me man, not woman, being shot. But let me see. Woman accused of beating man to death. Okay, there you go. It finally came up. Woman shot dead. See, they gave me 1, 2, 3, 4 women getting killed before they talked about the woman beating this man to death. All right. So
Algorithm.
hold on. Let's just click on this one and see something right quick. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. Woman shot dead. 9th woman shot. Killed in 6 weeks. 8th woman. Damn. Let's see. Damn. Oh, here you go. See, they talking about all the women that got killed. You know, rest in peace to all of them because they didn't deserve to die. I'm not saying they deserve to die, none of that kind of shit. I'm not going that far. You know, but it's you see all the ones.
No, you're saying it's like a reverb of what you even asked for. They showing you like sympathetic stuff about about women instead of showing you them actually answering your question. So
all right, now let's just go to the one that I was looking for because they not telling me. I had to search it.
That's trying to think of the damn word.
I had to search it on my own, but
yeah, they make it's kind of like looking the other way type things. Yeah, bro.
Y'all can see my screen.
Misdirection. Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah,
it's a misdirection. Damn, Nick. Look at Nick, man. What's up, Nick? Nick, then here. What she hit him with, chat?
All right, now when the first story came out, it's funny you said that because they act like they don't know what she poked them with or punctured holes in the man's body with. Now, the first story that came out said that the woman shot him or whatever. Now they saying that she beat him to death. Let me see. A woman has been arrested and booked in the killing of a man in Little Woods area of New Orleans East over the Memorial Day weekend. So this Memorial Day weekend, this recently, this ain't, like
Recent.
this just happened type shit. And you see when we was talking about the mothers getting killed or the women getting killed, I didn't say nothing about mothers. I just said women, and they brought me straight to mothers, all kinds of shit. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not saying nothing against that. It's just I was looking for this. But anyway, according to the New Orleans Police Department, officers responded to a call in the 7700 block of however the fuck the whatever Point Event Avenue on May 27th. The victim, later identified as 20-year-old Derek Mosley, or Mosley, whatever the fuck, was found suffering from injuries to his face and multiple penetrating wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Now this was shocking to people too. A lot of people ain't talk about this, but
Roaches in
you
the
see
corner.
what her buying is.
We'll sit it outside.
Pete, mute your mic, brother.
You can't leave it in here. Fuck around
Mute your
there,
mic.
roaches in the people's house.
You think somebody gonna take?
Man.
Oh, I'm gonna mute him.
Can you mute? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
But yeah, what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Man, this man, man, let's talk
But
about
look,
the roaches in people's house. Fuck that. This he want. He want everybody to know his fucking business.
shit.
Y'all letting out roaches in them people's house. 360.
Oh goddamn.
This man here, man. Mute your mic, man. Stop doing that, man. You gotta remember, bro. Mute your mic, man. Go ahead, Chop.
But whoever Ayanna Mosley or Mosley is, 23, was taken into custody and booked in the Orleans Justice Center. When they started calling it that shit, the Orleans Justice Center, on one count of second-degree murder, her bond was set at 5,500 racks. Why her bond so high? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what? I guess
500. What it was? 550.
Yeah, 550. That's high.
She must have stabbed the shit out of that boy.
Rest in peace to little dude, man.
Did they say? Yeah, rest in peace to him. Did they say what? I mean, that's all they didn't even say. They just said he found him stabbed and he got up. Like, what the hell?
I don't know, bro.
I hate when
They
the
had
news
the
do that.
same.
You don't
They got the
get news.
same last name, so they might be kin, some kind of way. I don't know.
Married?
Or married? Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, that they might be married.
Okay, the Orleans Parish coroner determined Mosley's official cause of death was blunt force injuries. So she beat the fuck out of him. Her.
But they're not saying with what though.
They're not saying it even fucking happened. The fuck with what?
Because I thought you said punctures earlier. Did they say he had holes in them or something earlier?
Yeah, that's what they said. He had holes in. I'm telling you, the first initial report that came out, if I can find a screenshot, that shit said that the girl shot him. Now they saying it's blunt force. Fucking, what, she shot him and then beat him with the gun?
Be that when you're not talking, mute your mic. When you're not talking, mute your mic.
God damn. Let me see if I got screenshots to see if I screenshot it when they said it. Because that's crazy. And nobody talking about it. I seen it on one blog in New Orleans, but I ain't seen from nobody else. Like, I ain't got it.
I'm thinking what they trying to say with the official cause of death, even though he may have been shot, his wound that he may have suffered from being shot might not have been fatal. The fatal wounds came from the blunt force trauma to the head. Like, if she shot him, the gun probably jammed. He was already on the ground, so she probably pistol whipped him and just kept whipping him until he was unconscious or whatever like that. So he probably had intracranial hemorrhaging, which is bleeding on the brain or whatever like that, which was the fatal cause of death.
Damn, that's crazy. Thanks for that explanation, Peter, because they damn sure said she shot. The news came out and said that. And then they saying he got beat. So, but they still not saying, even though he did get beat, why they still not saying nothing about the fucking the shots? You see what I'm saying?
Sound like she did all three of them motherfuckers. God damn. Whooped his ass, stabbed him, then shot him. Exactly. No, she didn't. Like, and that's the same girl. Or that's a different situation.
What her name is? Let me see if I can put her up.
Ayanna Mosley or Mosley.
Okay, so that's the same girl. Well, yeah, Nick. I don't know, man.
Nick look crazy as a motherfucker.
Nick went off in that motherfucker, child.
Yeah, she went ham. So she 5'6". She ain't small. That's 5'6" is tall for a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
She big. And you seen how small the dude was.
No, I ain't see the. I actually didn't. I ain't see it pop up.
You can see it now.
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
That shit still ain't pop up. I'm damn sure looking there. So, let me put this shit up. It still ain't pop up?
No, it's not up
No, it still ain't pop up.
Damn.
I'm trying to see if I could pull up the court documents on her, because you know she probably went before magistrate already. It's starting to pull up. Yeah, they both was like, wait, why does dude look? Am I tripping? He a midget? I'm sorry, y'all, but he's short.
I see what you're saying, though, child. How old is he?
20.
He 20? He do look short. You ain't lying. He do.
He's short. Yeah, he's short.
He's small.
So they both.
I see what you're saying.
So if her last name Mosley, his last name Mosley, they might have been siblings or some shit on some beef and shit.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's true too.
My handsome nephew. That could have been his cousin or something.
Yeah.
Since the news don't want to tell us, like, what's the problem? Why y'all just tell us who she is to the dude? This don't make no sense.
You can't, because you can't have both stories. Plus, the mayor just said sometimes women do be involved in crime activities and all that shit, and they trying to put out stories that say, you know, they trying to put stories out that say women are getting killed versus women are in on these crimes. Some of these crimes. Some they don't be involved in, you know what I'm saying? You can't help if like one of the women was bringing her daughter to school and so he was beefing with some dudes and the dude seen the car leave, thought he was in the car and he wasn't in the car and they towed the fucking car. That ain't nobody's fault but his dumb ass. Because if you beefing, you damn sure ain't supposed to be driving your girl car. You're supposed to keep that shit separate, but it is what it is. I'm not saying in that shit, I think that's one of them. If it wasn't, I don't want to misspeak because I just know that happened in one of the recent situations. I ain't talking about nothing that been happened a long time ago or none of that type of shit. But recently in the 8 or 9, they just said it just happened. That was one of the situations. But the one that's just like this one, for instance, I'm gonna bring up to y'all. Let's see if I got that one. I think I got the text message. Yeah, I got it. Now this one happened today. This is the one happened today. Still no mention of the one I just mentioned, but this one happened today. Yeah, Thursday, June 1st. Today, Thursday. Yeah, no, this ain't happened today. But this was the latest one, I'm guessing. Because I think I seen somebody uh, recently got killed. But basically, the family of the latest woman shot dead in New Orleans said Friday that her boyfriend killed her in front of her 3 children. Police say he then set up the Broadmoor crime scene to appear that he gunned her down in self-defense. Okay. Officers booked Loston Lee, 34, with second-degree murder Thursday night, shortly after the killing in the 3800 block of General Taylor Street. Relatives identified the dead woman as 34-year-old Keisha Sherry Gray, mother of a 6-month-old, a 2-year-old girl. A 6-month-old boy, a 2-year-old girl, and a 14-year-old boy. Lee is the father of the younger children, and all three were present when Gray was killed, said Veronica Speed, Gray's aunt. See that with a picture again right there, y'all. See it right there? See it? That's crazy. We talking about something totally different, but they made sure they gave us the picture of all the rest of the women too again. It was
The ones with the
who
from the other
called,
stores, from the other store.
it
Yeah,
was Lee who called the police, but
you
only
might wanna,
later
you might
investigators
wanna, you
found
might wanna check this one out too.
Gray inside their home, shot in the cheek and lying on the kitchen floor in a pool of her blood. Police wrote in an affidavit to arrest Lee. They did not name the victim in the wait. They did not name the victim in the affidavit. I was stumbling over my words because I was trying to say they ain't give us all this fucking detail on that fucking on that lady beating that dude. Like we still don't even know what the fuck she beat him with. But we know the coroner then ruled the death of beating by blunt force object. That's fucking hilarious. That don't make no damn sense. They broke this. They about to give us this shit detail by detail. I'm not finished. Gray was the 8th woman killed in New Orleans since April 20th. Lee told police he was visiting his mother's house when Gray called to say she wanted him to move out because she learned that he was cheating on her, according to the police affidavit.
So is
Which
that a
was
girl or a
filed.
boy? Well, I'm confused. Is
Lee is
Gray a
the
man?
dude. No, Gray is the girl. Is the mother. Lee
Oh,
told
okay. Man, I'm about to say, what in the hell?
yeah,
My bad, chop. Go ahead.
Lee's the dude they arrested, and Gray is the mother. Which wait, all right, hold on, where I was at.
Did your
Gray
boy
called
was
to
the
say,
dude who got killed was born a man though, right? Or a male, right?
I guess.
Cause that's what I was asking. I don't know if that's a
Oh yeah. They say
okay.
let me pull him up. Man
Okay.
arrested. Yeah, this is terrible. Oh, you see if they got a picture of dude or something. Nah, they ain't got no damn picture on. But yeah, it's definitely a man. He was the daddy of the younger children. So yeah, I see that earlier in the thing I was reading. But yeah, he did. He was the daddy. He the daddy of the younger children. So yeah, he is the dude.
Gotcha.
What I was about to say. Oh, all right. Lee told police he was visiting his mother's house when Gray called to say she wanted him to move out because she learned that he was cheating on her, according to the police affidavit, which was filed in criminal district court. He said he went to their home and found her packing his belongings. He went he said he went to their home, which they stayed together, found her packing his belongings. She was packing his stuff. He told police he tried to talk to her, but she went to the kitchen and grabbed a knife and threatened him. All right, now y'all can have it now.
Packing his shit. And he said he tried to talk to her, and then she went to grab the knife. He
Like I
told her for
said,
this, he
bro.
feared for his life and fired a gun in her direction.
All right. I found something, y'all. It said I went and pulled up Docket Master. That girl bond is $550,000.
I said that already.
Yeah, he showed it earlier, P.
I was trying to see what they were saying. Was the situation like? What did she do? Did she stab him? Other than the blunt force trauma, but they
These
ain't giving up
questions
no
and more
information. Right.
on Blunt Talk, because they didn't tell us nothing in the middle of that one. This is not the same. This the same one, Chuck?
No, this two different things.
Oh, what about the say? Yeah, this is something different right here with these.
Yeah,
With
this ain't
this
got
right
nothing to do
here,
with Ayana.
this
We already was done on. They ain't give us too much information on
yeah, they
Ayana.
ain't give us nothing on that.
They
Yeah,
breaking this shit down to the T right here.
right.
They
That's why
breaking this shit
That's
all
why
the way
I asked that
down.
dumbass shit earlier, cause I was still tripping off Red with the pink shoes and shit. That's why I asked you was that's who I was really talking about.
Oh, was he
Your
a
boy
dude?
Ayana, yeah, the one she was messing with. But they come back to this dude. Your girl went got the knife and then he shot in her direction, so and she still wound up killing him.
No.
Okay.
This nigga killed whatever his name, Lopskin Lee killed Miss Gray.
Oh, all right. My bad. It's all right. My fault. I thought it was the
Yeah,
other
that's
way
two
around.
different. It's two different things. That's why I was saying, like, they
I thought you
breaking this
found another
down.
one where a woman was doing a murder, but this the one you saying about them switching. This the one they wanted you to watch first.
Yeah,
When
this
you
a
was
man
looking
doing
for
it. This a man killing
right.
a woman.
I got you. I see what you said.
Fucking right. It's a man killing a woman, and they, like I said, they breaking this shit all the way down to the fucking. We know right now we know everything that happened in this case. We still trying to figure out what really happened with the, like y'all just was trying to see. Y'all was like, damn, I'm still trying to see what
Right,
happened
just
to
based it.
dude.
Yep, made a base
You
off
see
it,
what I'm
exactly.
saying? But they giving
Definitely,
us
yeah,
all
man.
this information, and the one with dude, that shit been happening. That happened way before this one. So we know everything in this
Yeah, they
case.
got me all in the fucking lady house. I knew her churn and everything.
You know everything. They
It's
ain't
crazy how
withheld nothing. You know
they will
how
tell
what
you
kids
everything
was
that
for the
involved the
dude and
man.
everything.
Right. What's crazy is they'll tell you every detail about what happened when a man do something versus when a woman do something.
Look, I'm about to know. Look, they see this is what they trying to lead to with telling us this story and pushing the fact that the women's getting killed. Lee told investigators he feared for his life and fired the gun in her direction. Suspect leaves and returns. He said he took the children and left, went to his mother's home again, and then to a Harvey restaurant to talk with relatives. Police wrote. He then returned to the crime scene to call police. The police said Gray didn't have a knife in her hand, but that two knives had been placed under her legs. This shit is crazy.
They
This
say
man,
a straight
this
edgy
man
blade.
ran errands and then came back, son.
This man went and get something to eat. He went to the restaurant and sat down
This is the
and
illest
discussed with
nigga
his
in
people what
Nebraska.
to do before she's still laying in that bitch dead.
These people say this man went to
A Harvey restaurant.
Nah,
this
nah.
man went to
Here's the jacked up
Chris.
part about that. How do you
Talk
explain
about how
that
he just shot. I don't even know if he talked
to
about
make it
that. Did
make
he just
sense?
get up and act like it was a regular day, then came back home and dealt with it? I don't know, Javi, at this point, bro.
Then you
That's
shot her. You killed her, and her son, her oldest son, which is not your son, he watched you kill her too.
So imagine having to live in the house with the killer who killed your mama.
Get in the car with him and go somewhere.
Yeah, that's weird.
Let alone the other two children that just seen you kill their mama.
That's why I said at the beginning. Imagine trying to explain that to make it make sense for anybody. Like she grabbed the knife, so I shot at her, but I didn't shoot her. I shot in her direction. Like
That shit don't even sound right, nigga. You got
right. That's what I'm
mad.
saying. You can't even explain that to make that make sense.
You was on some stupid shit. She probably told you she fucked somebody or something or whatever, and that was a wrap. Bitch, You was already by your mama.
Well, I thought they was by her mama.
she was packing his stuff.
Or they was by
Because
his mama.
he done did some.
No, he went by his
He was
mama.
doing
They
some
ain't go
fuck.
nowhere.
She was
He went by his
she
mama
was
first because she was supposed to
she
already
was
been
on
tripping.
stop. Yeah, she was on stop. She was on the ground. Mute your mic, Pete, when you ain't talking. She was on stop because Brown went left and came back to the crime scene. That's what the P was saying. He left, went there, dipped there, came back. So I mean,
Because he started out, well, keep in mind, he started out at the mama house.
saw a fall. Yeah, he
He
saw a
started
fall.
out at the mama house where he got a phone call from her saying that it was over and she was leaving.
She had his bags, and he felt played about her grabbing a knife and then shot him, and then shot at her. Yeah, bro. It was
They
a heated
wrote in
argument.
the affidavit
It was a heated argument.
that they had no record of previous domestic violence incidents involving Lee and no records of calls for help from the couple's address this year. So they wasn't in multiple domestic disputes, or at least to the point where the police was being involved, because we do know that they do have domestic abuse that
Yeah, and we don't like the
goes on,
police in our
and
business like
people
that
don't
anyway, especially if
people
it's
don't
not
put
that
their
serious.
business out there like that, and people keep it under wraps, and then some shit like this happen.
Ooh, got some layers. And you right, bro. Cause we finding out about old Lee in the Grays. I'm trying to see what's down with Neck and Rage. You remember Neck? They supposed to be telling me something about her by now.
They supposed to be saying
But I
something.
digress. You right though. And it's like
I'm supposed to.
But
We
they
know
even
everything about this. We know this man, where he was at before he went. Went to the house and killed her. What he did after. What he did. What restaurant he went to. They knew it was in Harvey. They knew all this. They know he put knives under her legs to make it seem like she
yeah,
had knives.
yeah. But they can't
Like,
tell
come
me how the neck
on.
got round. How the neck got round. What happened?
I think that's just one of those situations where dude gonna wind up getting. So wait, did he get arrested?
Yeah, he in jail for second
Oh,
degree
okay. Well, he
murder.
gonna be found guilty then.
Oh, he definitely gonna be found guilty.
Because if the police are checking that, if they check the evidence and they say she didn't have no weapons in her hand, 9 times out of 10, dude, you shot that girl. Thinking what you was doing, you was gonna get away with, not knowing that you hadn't even thought none of that through. You could have just went on
Exactly.
ahead,
That was
packed your
smart.
stuff, moved out,
He's
and
not
left well
smart.
enough alone.
Yeah, he wasn't. He's not a. It's not a smart person. When you
No,
leave, you could tell. I mean, come on, man. The people gonna look at fingerprints and all that type of stuff. Goofy. And you in the moment, so you damn sure ain't had no gloves on and all that. So don't act like there was a professional hit or something. You stupid ass in there and pulled out your gun and did some fuck shit, but you
He
could have
got
just
mad.
left. Yeah, dog. You know what I mean? I'm hearing that, so
He
it's
got
fucked up.
mad, dog. That's why I say
It's fucked up. But I see your
that's that
point though of
pussy.
what you actually trying to talk about though of how they, you know, label this stuff as, you know, just the first thing first. You know, let's get this. But then I'm gonna show you one thing that you're talking about. But then it happened so recently. It should have been the first thing because that's what you asked for. So as you can see, yeah, definitely, child, they are part of the plan of this too. You know, feeding certain things to the masses as media. You know, and it goes from city to
definitely.
city.
That's definitely what it is, bro. Because when I typed up her name, just trying to see what I could find as far as the court documents or whatever, it gave me to run around to the point where it was telling me something about something in Baton Rouge. I'm like, wait, I ain't even asked nothing about nothing. Baton Rouge. So, yeah, man. So it's definitely something going on with that. And I would like to know what is the reason. Like nobody ever really sat down and actually thought about why these girls are being killed the way they be killed. Because remember, we just what was that last week before? We pulled up pictures of girls sitting in cars giving babies guns and taking pictures with guns and stuff like that. So I mean,
Hmm. The mama was in the
um,
picture with her son with the gun.
Oh,
She
look,
didn't
I
want
got
to
the
with your
video.
just her child.
Hold up.
Don't you? Yeah, I thought you was gonna pull that one. Man, come
Yeah,
on.
I got that. Hold up. I'm
I
glad you
got you,
said
homie.
that.
Yeah, I got you. It go right with what we talking about.
wait, they got another one out there. A girl just got arrested. I think they said she was like 14 years old, 15 years old, and she sent two little dudes on the school bus to shoot a little dude with the gun jammed, and so they wind up getting caught. She wind up getting caught, and it's like, but y'all wonder why these women now. As far as certain ladies, like pregnant ladies or whatever like that, you gotta kind of wonder, like, okay, what was the reason for killing her? Unless she was killing her as revenge for her old man or somebody in her family killing you. But some of these little chicks that's out here, they out here doing down bad stuff, committing crimes, and not, like I said, not thinking that stuff gonna actually come back to them. But we gotta keep being fed the narrative that they're being killed for no reason, and that's not true.
Yeah,
Okay, you good. I was just waiting for the thing to catch up. That was definitely one of the the reasons I wanted to start a online conversation with the people, and especially my partners, about these type of things. So, we could have a mutual understanding of what's really going on and how all this stuff plays out, because it's definitely a reason, and the why is already there. We keep saying the why. You know what I'm saying? They keep telling you why. Now it's, how and, what, where and who, a lot of the times, and putting these puzzle pieces together, as much as we keep digging, bro, trust me, it's all gonna come into place.
Y'all can see it.
Yes, sir.
Look at this shit. Who you think that is right there? Who this is?
The little kid in the back? Or is
Yeah, who
that their
think that?
mama?
That's the mama.
With all them kids walking around toting. I thought that was a boy at first when I first saw the video. So they went back and so that's the mama, and the mama went and got arrested.
Yeah, they arrested her.
I thought they had the other two. Two out of the three in the front and the mama.
They got the
Because two
two
of them was
brothers
her
and the
children.
mama.
No, didn't they have an article? Oh man, I don't know if I still have that article. But I know they said two of these kids in this video
Nigga,
and
I
their
just
mama
said they
got
got the
arrested.
two. That's what I just said.
Yeah. But I thought they said two of them was her children.
Nigga, they brothers. That is her children.
Okay, that's what I was asking. What was her kids?
Yeah, but you ain't give yourself a time to listen, brother. That's what he was saying, brother. You didn't give yourself time to listen. That boy said no, they brothers. He just didn't say it the way you said it. That's all. He didn't say it was her kids. He said brothers. It's okay. It's the same thing.
No, you see him. And this is the question Peter I was asking. The article he was looking for is about to pop up. That's crazy. Oh. There we go. There you go, P. Dot. She 42. That's out of my age. That's older than me. That's way older than me. She graduated high school and started
Tiffany
college and
Brumfield.
everything.
Yeah, she.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. The mother of two teenage brothers arrested in Jefferson Parish for burglaries lives in the Willows. 42-year-old Tiffany Broomfield was arrested on fugitive charges for resisting arrest after arresting her sons, 12 and 14-year-old. I don't see why she felt like she was gonna get away with that, dude. Like, you on video with your son.
Come on now.
With guns in their hands, like.
I'm talking about zoned all the way out, huh?
And the bad thing is, and
Look,
once
wait, time
again,
out. I know they wrong. They wrong. I'm not saying they not wrong, bro. But what the fuck 62 car burglars got to do with these? They did all 62 of them? Y'all think?
Wait, say that again?
Doing that, or y'all got caught, so we gonna pin all this shit on y'all type shit.
It's extra. Like I say, on my little segment, man. I gotta make it look good for me. Whatever little stuff I could get off me. Yeah, y'all got caught. Y'all tripping. This is how the game go. You know what? I
But
know
then
y'all only
again,
did 12, but we gonna say you did 62, bitch. I don't
but
give a
look,
goddamn. It
then
is what it
again,
is.
we
We
can't say
cleaning up
that
the
that might
streets,
not
P.
be a
We're
possibility.
cleaning up
Because if
the
I got my
P.
mama
We're
running
cleaning
with
up
me,
the. You right. You right. We're
you see
cleaning
what I'm
up the
saying?
streets, and we getting all these carjackings over with. We caught that. We caught the people who did everything.
And we got their
It was
mom.
it was a mother and two teens. Right. If you believe that, brother, you ain't been listening to nothing been going on tonight. I'm just saying. You don't even believe your own segment.
No, I'm not saying that they did all 62.
I'm
But
not
I'm
saying it
not
ain't
saying that
possible. I'm
I'm
not
not
saying it ain't
saying that it couldn't be impossible. Because think about it, if you got your mama riding around in the car with you, who gonna suspect the mother and her two sons? Somebody need to be the licensed driver, because them little dudes 14 and 12 look a little too young to be behind the wheel.
man, you got you got fingerprints and 62 codes with them little dudes prints
Well,
on.
I doubt that, bro. I'm just saying,
Authorities
I
must
wouldn't say that
Oh,
it's
but you
not
gotta but listen,
impossible.
but what I'm saying is
One
you gotta
suspect
have that
is
type of evidence
suspected
to
of
pin them to all
carjacking a
62.
woman while fleeing, and
So
another was in a stolen car out of St. John Parish. So now they trying to tie this shit up from parish to parish. Like these niggas is notorious. They carjacking from Orleans to Jefferson to fucking St. John Parish.
They all over. Remember, they just had, matter of fact, earlier this week, I think maybe about Tuesday of this week, they just had a carjacking, I think in Covington, and they caught
My
the
thing
dude. He was
is,
from here.
and the main thing I be like, we was even with the thing when we brought up the Susan Hudson shit and brought up the numbers with that shit. Like somebody got to sit me down and explain to me where is the money for the victims of the crime? Like, because they get checks for that. So when do you get it? And you know where that money come from? And do people ever really get it? Because everybody be struggling so hard to bury their family. So I'm trying to understand if they giving money for shit like that.
Like I
Now,
said before, though, chap, if you don't know that there's money allocated for you through the sheriff department, through the city, through the state, for you to get to help deal with the stuff from the violent crime that you're going through, then people not gonna tell you that. You just gonna have to figure out how to bury your people on your lonesome. Like I said, if I ever get a chance to have to go work for the sheriff convention again, and I kick my hand on one of them itineraries, I'm keeping that
but
motherfucker.
look at little 12-year-old with
The burner with the extendo on it.
this shit crazy.
But it be the same people who child wind up dead somewhere. Oh, my baby didn't bother nobody. He didn't do nothing. He didn't deserve to die like that. But look what
man,
42-year-old
our
mama
story.
out there tripping.
Yeah,
A 80s
42
baby.
out there to be 12.
Don't put that blame on those 80s babies.
Right?
She out there like she's 16.
I'm not saying all 80s babies.
So what you brought the 80s babies up for?
Cause
Because
she
she might
old
have
as
been one
fuck.
of them bad seeds that come out of the 80s.
Oh, that's why. My bad. I
There's a
retract my
bad
statement.
there's a batch of bad seeds in every generation, bro. And she might be a part of it.
Mm, mm, mm.
You on your own with that one. Be that. I just thought you was saying she was old as a motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, bro. I mean, that's pretty much all I really had I just wanted to show y'all
So,
that they really
No.
curving. Wait, I think I got because the data shit really pissed me off looking
showing you
for
it's
it.
even happening in media. Y'all watch it. Watch the corruption. I'm telling you, it's on the high scale. Chop showing y'all people. P dot showing y'all. I just made you reminisce about it to show you how deep it actually goes and what all these people uncovered about it. So, like I say, just imagine what's going
Damn.
on now. Technology is a little up. You know, we could frame the news a little more because we getting them. You know, we got them more. You know, into intertwined with what's going on, and we got them to pick a side with Biden and Trump, and this whole cabal of bullshit. Everybody's feeding into it a lot. And that's
Now,
why I
see, this
respect what
one of
we
the
do because
things
we
I
break shit
had.
down.
I talked about earlier. I was telling me and Simon was talking about earlier before we got on the show. But see this thing right here, historical crime records. You could go get that shit right from the library. Look how far fucking back they talking about though. 1950 is the furthest you're gonna get. Probably 1946. What the fuck? Oh, 68. I see 64 right here. I mean, that's for regarding fugitives. Oh, I see. Oh, that's 1873. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I see a couple of little different categories for dates for other stuff, but not
Let's
exactly
see.
what. Yeah,
Who
what
is
you
these
was.
people? Community crime. And who is LexisNexis? Who the fuck is that? And why is they doing a community crime map in the city?
And who was
That
paying them to do it?
yeah, like why they doing it? Why we can't do our own shit?
Yeah, what authority they have with that? Yeah, because that's why I say if you find out, yeah, well,
These people got broke down to where the most crime happened on a Wednesday. Like what the fuck up with that? Burglary.
man,
Am I reading this chart right?
that's
A
to the
little bit, huh, bro?
Motor theft, burglary, aggravated assault, sexual assault. Damn, why we don't hear about all these fucking sexual assaults? That's like between 70, I want to say between 70 and 80 sexual assaults. If you go by the number at the bottom, right? Robberies, burglaries, no shooting. So what color shooting is? Arson, homicide is pink. Damn, so it don't look like we're doing that much shooting then, right? Based on the crime map.
So if
This
they
is
if
what
they
it's
if
gonna
they
tell you.
crime
It's from
chart
May.
I'm
they
laughing
crime
at
chart
Mufia,
either
y'all. I'm back
backwards
on
or
mute.
they reporting the numbers the way they want to report the numbers in the media.
What the fuck we talking about? They say we shooting up the fucking place. What the fuck? Where the shootings at? This the crime map for the city.
Man,
I'm just
these
saying, bro. That's what they be saying.
people are
They say
fool,
we
man.
tearing this bitch up, son. All right. Let's
No, they
look at
tiny
another
bitch up.
chart.
Reverse
All right,
psychology.
chart. New Orleans. Or this the police
They tiny
demographic.
bitch up.
Oh, all right. So look, we got 1,200 officers. Out of 1,200 officers, they got 64 male, 36 female.
Not to cut you off, Chop. These must be new hires because the last time I heard he was down to 1,000.
Oh yeah, it was under that. It was definitely under that. I
900.
guarantee you
I
that
see
this
these people are fool.
1,200 nigga, that's probably the niggas that that's everybody. Probably the janitors and everything.
Y'all also gotta remember we did a
I
bill
agree.
on that too. How many officers we actually had on the streets.
Nigga, the average age
Our
is
contract's supposed to be 600. But go ahead, I'm listening.
The
What you say,
average
Chief?
age, oh shit. Well, the black people do outnumber the white people. They got Hispanics. They got 1% Asian police officers. The average age is about 40 to 49, and they trying to catch these young niggas in these streets. So if these 40 to 49-year-old niggas ain't in shape, them gotta be sergeants and desk niggas or shit like that. So we gonna leave it to the 26% or the 12%, the 20-year-old, the 29, because them the motherfuckers that should be out there running after them little niggas, the 29-year-old ones, right?
Makes
Don't y'all
sense.
think? I
Yes,
mean,
Makes
it
sense.
just
yes,
Yeah.
that's who should definitely be out there chasing them little niggas.
On the beat, as they say.
unless they making sure every police officer is in shape like they're supposed to be. We know that ain't the truth.
Exactly. And
Bro,
I think that's a part of
how
the
many
corrupted
police
justice.
videos we
To
gonna
let
see
they
with
fat
these
ass
belly
be
rolling over the
represented by
belt police
donuts and
on the force?
shit.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, that's the count. That's by the numbers right there. That's by the numbers. Literally. 379 of them from 40 to 49, 141 from 20 to 29. Two 20-year-olds. Two 20-year-olds. Lord. 323 30 to 39-year-olds. 86 60 to 69-year-olds. 15 70 plus. What the
50
fuck
to
they doing?
59, what y'all doing, man? Nah, 50
50
to
to
59.
59, we in
What
On
y'all
retirement.
doing?
They ain't no
280
retirement.
of them motherfuckers.
uh,
What is y'all doing?
yeah, it's too many of y'all. Not to say it like that, but it's like a lot of those jobs should be reserved and it shouldn't be that many of y'all versus
We got to get
the
programmed.
cops,
They
man.
got to drop
Yeah,
their
that
age,
shit
bro.
gotta be revamped, job. This is a
I
part
think
of
they
that,
got to
bro.
drop their age, bro.
You gotta, they
They
gotta
got to
change
drop
that
their
shit.
age, bro. I think if they drop the age and let them and start them at like 18, like any other grown up thing as a man, you could do everything else in the
Yeah, I
world
see
at
what you're saying.
18. Like
They
you could
do it.
start
The
them at
the
18,
military
you could
do
get
it.
them in there younger. The military
Military do
definitely
it.
do it.
Yeah, they
But they gonna
start you
send
off
them
in
to the
certain schools,
military.
you know.
Then they gonna,
Yeah,
but look what they gonna do. They gonna send them to the military. They gonna come back to the police department, and they gonna make them military dudes higher ranks, and they still ain't gonna have to run after nobody.
and on the flip side of that too, a lot of them come back with all kind of problems too, especially they done been through war and they put them out on the beat. So you
Come
see a
on,
lot
man.
of that
Out there spazzing
craziness
out
going
on people
on.
and shit
Yeah, you see a lot of that craziness,
with that
you know,
PTSD shit
space
and all
off.
that.
Yeah, so
But then you
and
gotta
these,
also think about the
20 to
flip side of if
29,
you
30 to
drop the age
39.
too. My bad, my bad, side.
If you drop the age, what you say, P. Dot?
I was saying you gotta think about the flip side of what's gonna happen if you drop the age. At 18, you gotta. I'm not gonna say you got a vast majority of people that's young and irresponsible, but when it comes to hard line decision making at 18, I can't see that as a police officer, a 18-year-old either fresh out of high school or in their first year in college is actually going to make hard line decisions that will not be, what's the word I'm looking for, counterproductive,
I
right?
doubt. I say
If
I disagree with you on that because first they nowadays they are getting degrees before they leave. You see what I'm saying? So if it's if that's something that they want to do, they should be able to get that whatever degree they need or whatever training they need. They should be able to do that about time they get there because, and if they can't do it, then you don't get the job. You know what I'm saying? Type
but
shit.
then again, go ahead.
I don't think they'll just be hiring them, or we just gonna hire a bunch of youngins who do who know. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, that's where the disconnect at. Think about it. The young dudes, the basically the 20-year-olds, if they don't already know what the game is, they gotta find out the game and then tell. You see what I'm saying? Like tell them what's going on, because if they don't, they're not gonna never know. Because the 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds don't know what that's a disconnect.
Right. It is a disconnect between the ages right now, especially when it comes to some street shit. Right. So the reason I'm saying about the hardline decision with the 18-year-olds, if they, like you said, if they drop the recruitment age to 18, how many 18-year-olds gonna come across their little partners or some of their homies or somebody they know that they met throughout their time as a youth out in the streets doing some fucked up shit and not gonna take that hardline stance to be like, well, bro, look, you know what it is, bro. I gotta do this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If I could jump in right there, because you gotta look at it like this though too, Pete. It still goes to morale. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's age is much of a difference, because if you look at it, we've been talking about this corruption. Obviously, hasn't been coming from youngsters. It's been coming from these old motherfuckers who've been polices for a long time. That supposed to have all this wisdom to not do the fuck shit. They are the main ones trying to be Frank White and shit.
Exactly.
So I think it's more of a morale thing, and them being young is still learning that same systematic shit. You're gonna get the same fuck shit. It's just gonna be from a younger dude.
And
I think if you
have a lot
change
of
the
them.
process, yeah, you change the process and just shake that shit up. Because if you looking at this chart right now, it's not working, obviously.
It's not.
Definitely not that chart.
And my
That chart
thing
is not
is,
Shake
working.
it up,
it's a lot of them
change
that's
it.
gonna say,
You know what I'm saying? And put that morale back in it, you know, and just see. You know what I mean? Like we have nothing to lose at this point anyway, man. Y'all acting like nobody don't want to be a cop anyway. But then flip back and you need tires and shit. You just bought brand new tires and shit. So
but how many, you gotta think about it like this too, bro. How many of them little dudes gonna see their partners do that shit and be like, man, I could go get that fucking money too? You know what I'm saying? It's a percentage of them, and that's what I be saying too about saving everybody. You just can't, you know, as much as you want to, bro. That's just like with having a litter of puppies or something. 9 out of 10 of the times, though, one of them damn puppies gonna die, bro. You blessed if every last one of them puppies survive. Shit, and the mama eat the fucking one that die. Shit, but anyway, I'm gonna go. Let me see if I can find some other shit I was searching. Wait, though. See, this just for people that don't know all this shit is available to us. You know what I'm saying? Look at the calls for service, electric police reports, stop and search, use of force, misconduct complaints. So you can complain here. They got the in camera, data body cam, crisis, like sexual assault, domestic violence, like they got like training, like I was saying, recruitment. They got a lot of stuff that they doing. I don't know why people don't want to be police officers. I really believe it's because they're not paying enough. This was me just saying.
Well, we know what their budget was. Well, when we did the bill on that, their budget was $396 million. And I think that was for that particular year that we were doing the budget on. So they can't say that they don't have the money. Anytime these motherfuckers spent $42,000 on new tires and rims for vehicles that were brand new, we can't say that they don't have the money.
What are they doing with the casino tax money? Like, what you think? Or the film footage money? Like, what you think they do with that?
they say them young boys burning their ass. They need them run flats, nigga, that go.
They need them fucking scooters or something stupid ass.
Them boys out here with scats and cats and tigers and bears. I tell them things.
Stupid ass. They need the Nike with the scat pack on it.
Got real cars. Yeah, these motherfuckers. Niggas say we need chrome rims and new tires. Y'all, this bullshit. But I mean, that's a good question though. P, you want to take that? You want to take that first with that one?
The money that's supposed to be coming from the casino and the lottery. Now remember, the lotto, the
I ain't
casino,
saying nothing about the lotto. I'm talking about the damn casino and the fume people, not the lotto. The film.
the filming industry, the new
The taxes
Hollywood
that you
South.
know, they send you got to pay a lot of taxes to do that shit.
You know what? That's a real good question because I haven't heard nobody talking about the money that's supposed to be coming from the casino or New Hollywood South in a long time. Matter of fact, it's been like maybe almost 5-6
I
years
got a
since I
better
heard
question.
anything
I got a
about
better
that.
question. We worried about what the fuck trying to get them turned to be police officers. Why they don't have no classes trying to get them turned to work at Folgers for one? Because Folgers got a big plant back there too by NASA. And NASA, why they don't do what's up with that?
Yeah, you're trying to eradicate that whole middle class trading man doing the work type thing all together, child. They trying
They
to
contract their work to out of
eliminate
town
you
people,
even
bro.
thinking about just doing something like that. Like, yeah, that's a part of this
But you
this
know what else
crazy
is
little
weird too?
plan that people are scheming on right now.
Now check this out. And it's good that you asked that question, Chop, because how many people who actually went on field trips to the zoo as a child
Hold up, Pete. I
wind
gotta
up
catch y'all right
becoming
quick. Hold on, Pete. Hold on. Chap, you didn't read that, did you?
Wait, which one?
Look at the screen.
Racial disparities?
No, what King 365 asked. King 365 said.
Ain't no bad seeds in the 80s. Oh,
No,
that's
not that one. It's on.
So
I got it on
they
the screen.
probably go get the gun range with the mama, or go to the gun range with their mama. Damn.
She looked like a gun range bitch. I don't think she looked like a gun range bitch. 36. Say King. I don't think she.
You never know though.
Oh, Lord.
You probably see these young boys out here tripping. I don't want y'all to be lacking.
Bro. Now let's go steal a car. Fuck out it.
Stupid dumbass.
Right. we go to the gun range, get licenses and shit, but we gonna steal cars.
So now we all in jail. Who gonna get us out?
Yeah, I
Big
think she
Grandma.
reaches up.
Big Grandma.
There you go, PC. Is always, I'm telling you, bro, it's always something. Somebody
Grandma
always
Grandma about to go put the house up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, see? Exactly. There you go, P. You can always come up with something, man, with that shit, man. That shit crazy because this shit actually happened. And shit
It
like this
does.
actually happened. Yeah,
Grandma
all the
go
time.
put the house up for the surety on their bond. She can't really do nothing about them grandkids, though. But she could do something about the daughter. So she gonna
Bro,
go
I
put the
really
bond up
feel
on her
like
daughter because the kid's gonna go sit in juvenile and probably escape and go on a run for a little bit.
son, they let them kids be lifeguards at 13 years old, bro. That's saving people lives. They let them save lives, but you wouldn't let them be, because they're 18. Most of them kids, you could get a gun. They just had to walk around with shotguns or rifles until they're 21. Then they can walk around with their pistol.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So now you got bigger guns on the street, more agile. You see what I'm saying? And you put them in that demographic of the people that's really doing the crimes and shit. Because a 30-year-old person or a 40-year-old person, they're not running from the damn police. They, all right, officer, they giving up. They're not about to
Waste
go
their
into a run
time
because
or
they know
their
there's going to
energy.
be extra charges and shit. Only young people run from the police.
You
Well,
definitely
mostly.
got a point, homie. Because times is changing. Not only for us,
You
for
pull over for traffic
everything,
stop.
you know. So
Them niggas ain't pulling
you
over for a
can't
traffic
keep
stop.
that same raggedy ass shit going. If it's not working, they gonna learn the hard way. They gonna learn the hard way with this. So whoever in place, who in there, they gonna get the liquor with it, bro. Just like Renee and your boy when that happened. When I talked about earlier. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nigga, you probably wasn't all of the problem, but nigga, you come on, nigga. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Come on, nigga. You had a lot of shit to say, bro. But you come on, nigga. You know. Remember who the governor was too. Her little white ass. She was a fool too.
Kathleen Blanca.
like like he was working for a drug lord or something. Cause like he was like might well call her Gazelda Blanco, huh? Shit, she was moving, nigga. Getting niggas shot. I'm talking about who's ordering police to sniper rifle shoot niggas?
Come on, man.
What? Come on, man. So
them niggas felt like, man, this is our chance to shoot people and get away with it. And we gonna do it.
What? I'm talking about out there, like you were just talking about. They let them go to the military first. Hey, train killers, man. On the squad. Don't even look at people like humans. You got these people out here, as on the force. So
come on, man. I bet you if I look up,
rechanging the system is a good thing to me.
If that's what I'm saying, if they could go to the military, what's the difference?
Like you said, the lifeguard thing was a good point too. That's civil service. That's how I look at it. So if you still, you still doing that, water, you could drown. You still putting your life on the line to go get somebody.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay. I thought so. So like,
don't forget, you definitely putting your life on the line, because if them motherfuckers panicking and you instead of trying to tell the bitches calm down, they'll drown you and then still drown. And when they say you gotta punch them in their face.
It's never too
calm down.
It's never too early to train. I'm with you on that. It's never too early to train. And some people advance more than others. I think it should be an evaluation thing with that. And y'all should be hustling and bustling for more younger recruits, or at least start some type of police academy to get them.
Thank you. They could start doing that shit.
Okay.
So they get to the 9th grade. They could be in that shit. Already training, already
Silly,
doing
bro.
whatever. Like,
That's why I know it's on purpose, child. You see what I'm saying, bro? That's how I know it's on purpose, dog.
I mean, if they have
These are the things we gotta
get in that in the 9th grade.
These are the breaks.
You got 40 and 50-year-old motherfuckers. Them people, man, no disrespect to them people, bro.
Oh, I know, King. I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, man, I know y'all ain't. Fuck. Damn, what the? Who got to think? We late. It's 3 hours. It's late.
Shut it down. That's what's up, Jack. Good little ending on it too to bring it all together, though. Y'all give y'all shout outs to everybody. Let everybody know what's in it. Time to talk all over each other and shit.
Yeah, fuck. Shout out everybody that stayed in this bitch. They had the consistent 5 people till we hit the 3-hour mark. I understand. We fucking,
we fucking suck right now.
All types of fuckery happened today. I did not. I digress.
What I be saying? We ain't shit today. This period. Shit.
It was all kind of shit going on today.
I'm taking the blame. I'm taking my blame. I'm taking my blame. Fuck all that. We ain't gonna see. We ain't gonna
take it and put it somewhere then. How about that? God damn it. No.
Trying to end this shit, not
Take
keep
it
talking
and
about
put it somewhere.
Yeah, fuck, bro. We gonna be all right, man. This,
Put it in the trunk of memory.
This Blood Talk Nola and fuck.
Salute to all the people. Shout out.
Yeah, man. Shit, y'all
To
gotta
the
watch
people
that
who's in the
rewatch.
building.
We gave y'all all the information. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen all the charts. Y'all know all the demographics. We gotta stop people, bro. Just
start listening. Pay attention. Shout out King 365, man. Shout out Josiah, DD504, Ricky Rich. You know
I won't put that one point
Appreciate the love.
Silent had made about how the fuck you change superintendent and all the motherfucking crime stop versus adding more officers too. You know what I'm saying? That was a good point. You know, that let us know that we ain't been led right since before Katrina too.
True. Talk about it.
It's
That's
just
why I brought it up, brother.
there you go, P. Dot. You got the mic. Your turn. I'm done. Oh, he ain't saying nothing. I muted him, but he's
there
you go.
with me through my test. Yeah, it was lagging, but it finally caught up.
Oh shit, he lagging.
I appreciate y'all.
He sound just like his long ass head.
Nigga, fuck fat face ass.
I was about to just say it again because it clipped you.
But thank you to everybody. Thank you to my brothers for being my big supporters on the front side. Thank y'all fellas. I just want to say thank you. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Enjoy yourselves. Check the facts. If you gotta go on the city databases and start looking around, poking and seeing, we gotta find out where there's money going and start allocating for people to get their funds when they start having issues with crime in the family or whatever like that. So yeah, we definitely gonna try to look into that and see what we can find out.
Yeah, shout out to all the freedom fighters as well, and all the people who on the back burner who don't really get the credit for starting organizations and stuff like that for the people, you know, that's in those circumstances who actually go through it, the victims, you know, all the people who's involved, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to y'all. We gonna keep it posted with our people. We gonna keep talk about it. You know, awareness is the first step, if any step. So, with no further ado, this is Blood Talk. And this is the end of the smoke out. I am Silent Child 17.
P360 in the building.
Chop Tracks in the building.
We out this mother. Like Bernie Mac said, we out this mother.